I'm Dolo, and I'm good with that.
Don't fuck with me. I'm
backed by God, so I don't even know how to have the fear you need me to have.
Boy, if you weak ass niggas even thought of doing something to me, I light y'all bitch ass up.
I don't fuck with nobody. So when you fuck with me, I'm fuck with you.
You want to be somewhere where people are all trying to grow. And if you going behind, guess what they gonna do? Tell you, hey bro, you to get right or get the hell on. You see what I'm saying? And them the type of people you need to be around because that holds you to a standard.
If you can't receive someone telling you something, and even if you don't like who's saying it, if you're focused on what they're who's saying it than what they're saying, you're not emotionally intelligent.
That's a fact.
You're emotional.
God put me through a lot of trials and tribulations so that I wouldn't get complacent, so that I could remember who the fuck I am.
Obsessed with finding myself now and not having to prove anything to anybody other than myself. I believe in wins and lessons. Ain't no such thing as a loss. Everything is a lesson.
You can't let nothing break you. I don't care what the situation is, my nigga. Don't let that shit break you, because it's always a
Stay
way.
you. Be you. Be different. Don't try to follow no ways. What work for somebody else ain't gonna work for you.
Oh, I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to scrub and better myself. Or I'm just trying to be a better person. Yeah.
Giving your best is enough. And sometimes we lose track of that. So for anybody out there, you know, you're enough.
If one door closed, another one don't open.
I'm someone you really shouldn't put your hands on. So just make sure that this is what you want, because I'm not gonna stop, and I'm very resourceful.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. The water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
See, I'm not one of them niggas that know a lot about a little. I know a little about a lot, bitch. I might not be the brightest candle on the cake, but bitch, I'm lit.
I probably want to trust. Ready?
Bitch on the ride of my day like a Mustang. I gotta watch on my wrist is a bust down. See ya. I'm tryna hop on a flight out of town. See ya. But I see my baby to bring it around. See ya.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet?
Yo, 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 yo. What up, family? Family, what up? You know, I hate to be the one I say I told you so, but shit. I've been saying this shit for years. Ever since that Pizzagate shit came out the first time with Comet Ping Pong and whatnot, man, I was on it. I was like, man. And then I saw the stuff that I shouldn't have seen it with Hillary email files and shit with her and Anthony Weiner or whatnot and his kill switch. But the thing was, people kept saying, no, it's not real. Why is she in jail? Blah, blah, blah. Well, people with money got power. And people with power are dangerous. You know? Yo, what up, Smokey? Ah, man, everybody everybody over there on Kick need to come over on YouTube or Twitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Help me gather some shit over there too. Be nice. The views help. Everything helps. Shit. How's everybody's Friday going so far? You know what I'm saying? This start of the weekend. But we're gonna call it the strong one. You know what I mean? Shit. He dead. Enter Force is dead. Yeah, man. It is what it is, I guess. But shit, let's keep moving. Start off the show, y'all. With this Olympic setup thing, we gotta figure out what the hell is going on with that, you know what I mean?
All right, TikTok. Let's take a look above. As you can see, the Super Bowl image for 2026. If you look at the colors, you will see it's the same exact colors as the emergency broadcast system. You see the silver all the way to the left. You see the silver Lombardi trophy that says Super Bowl. You have your yellow, then your light blue, which is the sky. You can see the green. Just look at it. And then the fuchsia, almost violet, pinkish color. You can see it in the trees. The red on the bridge here, and then the dark blue right above the bridge under the light blue, under those white clouds right there. Now, we all know that it's always symbolism inside of these type of images. Now, why would the Super Bowl logo this year have the same colors as the emergency broadcast system? Not to mention, ICE is going to be patrolling at the Super Bowl. So what is it that they know is coming that we don't know is coming? Not to mention, for those of you that follow me, you know we've been following all of the earthquakes from Levi. And it just so happens that this year's Super Bowl is at Levi Stadium. Now, ain't that a coincidence? Now, you're going to have to ask yourself this question. If something happens this Sunday at the Super Bowl, and especially if the emergency broadcast system just happens to go off. And that question is going to be, does time travel really exist? And did they already know that this was coming?
Yes. Yes. And yes. Remember when I told you guys the Batman movie one where the football field blew up? And yes, Enter Force, I do have some vids on that too, my friend. We do have a lot actually. A lot. My guy. But we'll go over to the other part of this one, the other segment after that. Probably the after hour show, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep moving. But man. Emergency broadcast, y'all. Earthquakes, snake moving. Shit gonna get hectic. Be prepared and enjoy the show.
Oh my god, you guys finally figured out the elites are doing all this terrible, awful, horrible shit. Welcome to the party. I have more for you. Hi, I'm a sociologist that grew up in super conservative evangelical Christianity, deconstructed, and got really into the magical arts. After going through seminary school, and then studying the sociology of religion and getting a degree in it. Because this has been my hyper-focus for decades. And I'm autistic. But no, they're not Satanists. That's a little ruse they've been playing. This has always been what's been behind Abrahamic religions. They are the worship of the war and storm god, like Baal or Moloch from Sumeria. And blood sacrifice rituals have been a part of that for a very long time. And pedophilia, killing babies, cutting off babies' dicks. Cannibalism, sending a bunch of people to war so that they can use that as a blood sacrifice ritual, hunting people, and a whole lot of rape. And then they do the super fun thing where they have everybody in all the churches drink Jesus's blood. And then they harvest everybody's like worship and energy within those churches and instill in them a fear of hell so they can harvest their fear to support all their rituals, which are essentially rituals to make them all like rich and famous and powerful and win wars and those kind of things. Because they're feeding this, you could say, demonic entity, or egregore, some like to call it, in exchange for rewards. Like controlling the whole world! And this has always been what's been behind Abrahamic religions. And a really big key feature of that is the suppression of the divine feminine. It is essentially the spiritual roots behind patriarchy. So no, they are not Satanists. Satan would actually be like the opposite of that god, and is theologically like the light bearer that would reveal what that evil god is doing, and convincing you that that guy is the evil guy, and the evil guy is actually the good guy, is the greatest fucking lie they've ever fucking pulled. So no, they're not Satanists. They're Christian. And Jewish. And I'm just really glad people are finally starting to figure this out, because it's been bugging me for a long fucking time.
So this person they call God, right? Supposedly is a person called Gad, aka Gadriel, which is a seraphim who is a fallen angel. Who would have knew? And him being a seraphim, meaning he's part serpent with wings, which is what we live on. So hey, now the thing about this is they got Gog and Magog, okay? But there's a third snake. So what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this.
Threatening a criminal indictment. I have deep respect for the rule of law.
Because no one is allowed inside the Fed. Not you, not me, no American citizen, no duly elected member of our Congress, not the Supreme Court. Not the Supreme Court? Justice Department, not the CIA, DIA, FBI, ATF, ATE, NBC, not even G.O.D.
The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed.
The Fed is a private bank owned by private stockholders. Do not let the name Federal fool you. This place is about as Federal Express.
I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do.
This is Ethan, Federal Reserve.
Hey, Ethan, Bill here, First National.
Hi there, Bill. How are you?
Good, good. We're running a little low on money.
No problem. How much you need?
Oh, how does 20 million sound? What?
Excellent. We'll ship it over first thing tomorrow.
Wait, he can just call up the Fed and ask for more money and they give him whatever they want? No, pal. The Fed don't give the banks money. The Fed loans the banks money. Banks have to pay it back with interest.
So we can't perceive who God is, but the thing is, there's a difference between God and the Most High. You know what I'm saying? There's omnipresence that is there. You know what I'm saying? The all spark that connects us all. Not only that, but your higher self or consciousness. You know what I'm saying? That's what really rules you. That's who helps you out. That's your guardian angel. You know what I'm saying? That's your main vein.
This is Feed Your Mind. So does NASA even really have the technology to go to the moon is the question. You see, people have been asking this for decades now because they haven't been back since allegedly the first time they went. And now people are starting to question, did you even go back then? Because technology has advanced so much since then. And why are they having so much trouble getting humans back up to the moon now? You see, NASA just recently announced that they will have to delay their Artemis trip to the moon that they were planning on. Check this out.
And NASA announced early this morning it would be delaying its mission to send 4 astronauts around the moon. This is after engineers at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida detected a hydrogen leak at the base of the Space Launch System rocket. It happened during the wet dress rehearsal, where elaborate launch day walkthroughs are conducted. NASA announced that it would forego February's launch window, and it's now aiming for dates in March, with additional dates potentially in April. Now, the Artemis II mission will be NASA's Space Launch Rocket System and Orion capsule's second trip to space, but the first time that they carry humans. The launch is expected to be a crucial stepping stone towards returning astronauts back to the surface of the moon.
And so Artemis has officially delayed their February plan to go to the moon with 4 astronauts. They were going to travel up to the moon and fly around it a couple times and head back to Earth. The first time that humans have been on a trip to the moon since the original moon trips back in the 60s and 70s. So now NASA is saying we're going to have to delay that because it looks like they just don't have the technology to go, like they already told us. And so NASA's looking to shoot for a March or April date now. And I wonder if they're going to actually try to pull this off. This is very suspicious. They found a hydrogen leak allegedly on the rocket, and this is so convenient for them because now they can delay the trip to the moon because they have these 4 astronauts. They need to make sure they're all on the same page because when these astronauts get onto that rocket, they're going to either have to trick them to make them think they went to the moon, or they're going to have to explain to them that you guys are going to just have to say you went there. And there must be some issues going on because these astronauts have to be debriefed. And so I'm wondering what's going to happen in March and April now. I'm looking forward to this, to see if they're going to delay it again, because Trump has made it clear he wants NASA to get back to the moon before the end of his term. He wants that on his scorecard where he can say, I sent people back to the moon. He really wants NASA to do this for him. So are they going to be able to pull this off is a question, because there's just so much involved in getting people to say that they went somewhere that they never went. And how are they going to pull this off? Because with all the modern...
Yeah. Well, I can't really believe that. I'm a flat earther over here. Sorry, man. Sorry, Interforce. I've been where's that interface? My bad. I've been calling you Interforce. My bad, bro. My bad. I don't even know where there's no R right there, except for the one. My bad. But yeah, I'm a Kevin Costner, if you will, water world enthusiast. If you can't believe, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, interface. But yeah, see, I believe we live on the land that lives on the water. So
a lot of y'all are gonna ask me, why is the missing sign the most important part? In simpler terms, I will discuss it deeper in an upcoming video, but in simpler terms, they are the activators. They do not have a sign. They're
my phone is bugging, bro. What the hell?
a lot of y'all are gonna ask me, why is the missing sign the most important part? In simpler terms, I will discuss it deeper in an upcoming video, but in simpler terms, they are the activators. They do not have a sign. Their sign is ether. Ether means space. They are the space in which all of the other elements live inside. They are the activators. So if you ever need a boost, a person between, hold on, because when I tell you I just went into a whole 4-hour research dissertation, trust me, I got receipts and I'm ready to come for whoever need that. November 23rd through December 18th, that is when the veil is the weakest. You know why? Because the sun directly aligns with the black hole during the Ophius phase. So we're getting energy from the black hole because the sun is weakest. The veil is the weakest. So you know what happens during the veil during the weakest? We're able to communicate, and everybody's powers will be enhanced. Not physical powers, frequency power. And you need the ether to unlock and decode the truth that will be coming through. And I know I sound motherfucking crazy, but before it was me, it was our ancestors. They wrote a 13 lunar calendar and built a zodiac for each period. Why when the Europeans come into our ancestral culture, they changed it from 13 to 12 to limit our elemental ability. to confuse us. So whether some people will not fall under the same thing. And why do you think they get rid of the most important sign? Because if they're the activators, if they're the key to the activators. November 23rd and December 18th, you are the Orpheus sign, you are the ether sign, you are the space in which activates the other powers and intuition. Without you, the veil cannot be broken because you are the guardian of that veil. When you ask me why, I'm going to tell you because the sun aligns with the black hole. Black hole means what? Darkness. You're the most powerful sign in the darkness. Your dark is your elemental. So if you are a person between November and 23rd and 2018, November 23rd and December 18th, let me know if you like being in the dark. And let that explain everything.
Damn. Some good shit right there. But hey, I ain't gonna hold you to it.
New emails from 2018, when of course Donald Trump was the president, show that Jeffrey Epstein was asked to give the names of 3 people to replace the current Treasury Secretary. He's talking to Larry Summers. He asks him, "You back?" referring to his China trip that he recently got back from. Then Larry Summers responds saying, "Yup, want to discuss the Donald at some point." Then Jeffrey Epstein says, "I'm in Palm Beach all weekend." Then Larry Summers says, "We'll call you tonight or at some point. Will you be visiting Mar-a-Lago?" And Epstein responds, seemingly confirming that he is going to visit there, saying being asked for 3 names to replace Mnuchin. He was talking about Steven Mnuchin, a top member of the Trump administration. At the time, he was serving as the Treasury Secretary. This seems to confirm that Jeffrey Epstein was at least being consulted about potential replacements for a top cabinet position during the first Trump administration. This is very interesting because Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed that he stopped talking to Epstein in 2004. But if that's actually true, then why was Epstein involved in conversations of this magnitude in 2018? This makes it seem like Epstein didn't only help Donald Trump get elected by colluding with Peter Thiel and a top Russian diplomat, but he was being asked to
I mean, he worked it. This had to be before dude called his sex case. I mean, shit. Had to be before that.
Different names: Baal, Tammuz, Gilgamesh, and like I said, he is positing this. You can see this whole list: Dionysus, Bacchus. Yes, there is synergy between those cults and the practices, without question, historically speaking. Now, he's discussing this because he believes that the elites view Nimrod and or Gilgamesh as the Antichrist that they are working to try to resurrect for exactly that reason. And he reminds audiences that Gilgamesh, per the epic, was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. Take a listen. Super interesting.
Gilgamesh is said to be part God, part man. Jesus is God and man, right? Well, there's a similarity there. The Epic of Gilgamesh says that he was 1/3 man and 2/3 God. What's 1/3 of 100? 33.33%. What's 2/3? 66.6%. Interesting. And the 1/3 part of man, we are carbon-based organisms, right? The carbon molecule has 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. So just by default, the number of man would be 666 by virtue of the carbon molecule. But this guy's got 6s all over him. Look up CERN. It's a very interesting facility. Look at this thing. The thing's huge. It's the Hadron Super Collider. Their stated objective is to recreate the Big Bang. Now, I don't believe in evolution myself, but I remember them teaching me evolution in school, and they said we got here from a Big Bang, right? So if we got here according to the way you think, and you want to, by a Big Bang, and you want to recreate the Big Bang, that can't be a good thing. They're trying to find the God particle. You know, what in the world are these guys doing? Look at their logo. It looks like 3 6s on top of each other. And everybody wants to talk about the separation of science and religion, right? They're usually, it seems like they're like this, right? You know, they're diametrically opposed. Well, it's interesting that all these scientists and people working over there on CERN decide to put the religious statue of the Hindu god Shiva outside the front door. Shiva is the god of destruction. They put the god of destruction, a huge statue dancing, looks like it's coming through a portal.
Like I said, you guys, please don't email me about whether or not you agree with him presenting this. Last time when I mentioned the Shiva Dionysus thing, people were like, no, Shiva is not Dionysus. There's so many books on that say that that's what it is. And they are written by people that are Hindu. You guys can disagree amongst yourselves. I am just fascinated trying to get to the bottom of what it is that the elites believe. And it is just a fact that they do have that Shiva structure at CERN. CERN is obviously evil. showed you guys the video of what they were doing, this ritual. These are quote unquote scientists that are dressed up in robes, stabbing someone, and they never gave an answer for this. Somebody caught them, recorded this, and they're like, oh, that was a joke. No further questions, no further answers. Shut this down. Something much deeper is going on here, something much more demonic. And the reason why I find this to be fascinating is because it's everything that I have learned studying Sigmund Freud. It's all coming together. I told you Sigmund Freud was...
Everything done in the dark shall be brought to the light. Yo, ganja vibes in the building. What it do? Smoke one for you, Brody. Cheers. Cheers. Good vibes only.
Different names. Baal, Tammuz, Gilgamesh, and like I said, he is positing this. You can see this whole list.
In plain sight? Well, I decided to test it out. And if they're telling us the truth in plain sight, I figured I'd test it out against smart water. Seems like it's a safe bet to say it might be a little smarter to choose the smart over the death. Next, I decided to test the water from Fiji and the French Alps. Do you know what Evian spells backwards? It's naive for those of you that are a little slow. Mountain water, Fiji. Versus Evian. Boy, there was French Alps.
See? Telling you, man, can't even trust them. I think it's mostly because of the plastics. You know, microplastics leach into the water, so impurities are gonna be there. Shit. I still have these things, man, I gotta talk about. Mostly Taylor Swift. Strange person. Similarities uncanny. Doppelgangers all around us, man. Just saying.
I'm not everybody's friend.
Well, I'm sure you, Zena, heard the story from the Bible of the Good Samaritan. Are you familiar with that story?
Right.
Do you know what it's about?
To argue this point, it's just going round and round.
No,
because
it is an important arguable point because
you want your main concern in Christianity is to help the weak. Christianity was designed as a religion for slaves, after all. Historically, if there is any truth to it, the first followers of Christianity were slaves in Judea. Now, is that not true?
No, that is not true.
Who were the first followers of Christianity?
In fact, the first followers of Jesus Christ were not only common working people, but some of the most eminent intellectuals of the day, such as Saul of Tarsus, who was...
Well, Saul of Tarsus is the person who recreated the Christian religion in his own vision and rewrote the scriptures in the first place.
Well,
he caught on to a
I'm sorry, but that's hardly historically accurate.
Well,
you know, I want
Christianity. Interesting, because one Christian will tell us one thing, and another will tell us
Christianity is fine.
What did they tell you?
Christianity is fine for people who have this great love for weaklings. Well, we don't have it, so why must we be forced to be a part of your love for all mankind?
Well, you certainly must not be forced. Nobody would force you to do anything. I guess.
Can't you understand that?
I find it difficult to accept.
You really want us to put up a fight or put up an argument?
I just
there's no...
Go help them.
I just wonder how you've been able to psychologically insulate yourself in such a way. I cannot. I mean, I've not always been a Christian. And long before I was a Christian, it was just a matter of human responsibility to another creature, though I may not have believed them to be a creature of God as I do now. If they were suffering and they were in pain and they were hurting, I reached out to them.
How much clearer do I have to make it? A strong animal does not spend all of their energy and time on earth helping every weak animal. You help those in your own pack, in your own tribe, those who are like you, and those who are not like you and who are not contributing to you, you do not have a responsibility to.
If you want it on simpler terms, you can say that we are of different species.
See? Reptilians, y'all. You hear it from the mouths they self. They something else. You know what I'm saying? They been on the what do we call them? The worm peoples, the vril. They really out here. You feel me? Said I got good internet now. Yeah. Trying to get settled into the new place. Good, good, good. Nice to hear. Nice to hear. So peace and prosperity and abundance in the new crib.
This is St. John the Apostle. What? Hold up. Let's zoom in. There you go see the halo behind him again. There's the halo. This is in Russia. This is another icon of St. John with the halo behind him. Hold up. Hair like lamb's wool. Skin like burnt brass. What? Feet like burnt brass. And here's another one. St. Tiktok, the bishop of Amathus in Cyprus. See? They ain't got nothing for this. We talking about receipts. We talking about receipts. Founding father of the early church. Receipts. St. Augustine of Hippo, founding father of the early Christian church. What you thought, he was a pale skin? No, sir. He was a Moor too. There's the nimbus behind him, the halo. You ever seen St. Monica of Hippo? Here she is. Various copper complexion, swarthy complexion, tawny complexion, olive complexion, St. Monica.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We in the halo zones now, y'all. Let's get it.
Don't look at everything else as the problem. Look at yourself and see how you can change yourself to where nothing bothers you, to where you're unbothered about a lot of things, and to where life doesn't exactly affect you in that manner. It's changing your perception that kind of changes the world around you, because it's the small things that we don't appreciate. So in order to appreciate everything, you have to be very, very, very analytical. So in being analytical, you start to observe the world in a different manner. So even how you approach people, even how you move, even how you think. When you change the way you think, you change the way you perceive the world.
Man, that's why they took him out. They took him out because he was telling us the truth. Young Johnson. Getting it out there, man. You know, good die young. But shit, they go out in the worst ways.
100% manifest. But your phone is intercepting your connection. Now, let's talk about it. Ooh, how many times have you been thinking something and then pick up your phone and bam, there it is, right there on your phone? How do you think that is done? See, these phones have technology in it that we really don't understand. But I'm trying to explain a little bit of it to you all, because I know 100% of you have thought about something and then it popped up on your screen. That is your phone intercepting your thoughts, your manifestations. You ever wonder why that car that you want always pops up on your phone? It's because your manifestation has been intercepted. Why is it that you always see a house like the one you want on your phone? Because your manifestation has been intercepted. All of this money that you're looking at, everything that you think about, you're seeing on your phone.
Yeah, you gotta start writing that shit down. Paper or pen. Ink is the best, I think. It's very good to do that. It's called manifestation, anyways.
Guess who wasn't in the Epstein files?
He absolutely was, bro. Like, that's nuts. I miss old Kanye. Yeah, sure.
Go. He ain't going nowhere though. He's still here. We just ain't see him yet.
Right? So this is why this is why your guardian angels use them. Because they want to talk to you directly. But due to the food and the fluoride, most of us don't know how to connect directly. Most of us don't just learn how to meditate. So they got to come and talk to you at your level because they know that you are like this. You locked down right now energetically against your own will. So that's what makes numerology so powerful. And no, ain't no white motherfucker named Pythagoras created that. He was in Greece. And who you think taught the Greeks? The Greeks. They sat down to learn with us. Remember that. Remember that. Remember who you are. Not who they told you you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. What you are. Why you are. When you were. Why you came. You are the center of the multiverse. And the multiverse is the center of you. I repeat, we are the center of the multiverse. Black man, black woman, Latino man, Latino woman, gods and goddesses. And the multiverse is the center of you.
I like that. Yo, what up, King? Hold on, let me change the layout real quick for us. Oh. What up, Brody?
What up, bro?
See you off work, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, we gonna enjoy some more of the show then. Fuck it. Let's get it.
Wait a second. Because we never really did get an answer for what we were doing in Iraq, you know? The email happens to check out. Surely enough, back in 2002, a group of German geophysicists began making trips into modern-day Iraq to map out what they believed they had discovered, which was ancient Iraq that aligned with the ancient texts of Gilgamesh. I'm going to show you this headline because I honestly, this is like unbelievable. Two German geophysicists, one named Georg Fassbinder and Helmut Becker, they were working for the Bavarian State Conservation Office in Munich, and they began using magnetic mapping to discover the old city. And suddenly they go, wait a second, this is his tomb. When exactly did they find it? We know for sure that it was sometime between May 2002 and very early 2003, they became convinced that indeed they had found the actual tomb of Gilgamesh, also, like I said, known as Nimrod in the Bible. This is within the exact timeline that we make a decision to invade Iraq. It's going to get even more insane. So it's February 5th, 2003. Colin Powell publicly states, rather notoriously now infamously states, that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction. He's holding up the anthrax. He's addressing the United Nations Security Council, okay? Then, that quickly, next month on March 20th, 2003, we invade Iraq. The public is informed a couple of weeks thereafter, the BBC, so state arm, that Fassbinder indeed had made the discovery of Gilgamesh's tomb. And conveniently, well, guess what our boys did? They were there. They happened to make their military base at that exact location. Like, this is just incredible. Colin Powell publicly states there's weapons of mass destruction during his address, and then bam, there we are on top of Babylon. But what exactly were we doing there? Other than, the obligatory mass murdering, plundering ancient Christian civilizations and structures, a million Iraqi civilians that were killed. That's a given. We just are always destroying Christian relics, but because we have to destroy history. They have to destroy history. But in retrospect, I have to say that I gotta stand for my boy Colin Powell looking into this, because I think he told the truth that they were indeed searching for weapons of mass destruction, but of a spiritual caliber, mass spiritual destruction. It is absolutely not a conspiracy. You can look us up yourself, that we, like I told you, set up our military base, Camp Alpha, right on top of ancient Babylon. Our boys then began digging. They said that the reason that they chose this place was because they wanted to protect the site from looters. Except, I guess, the military guys got confused at the top. They accidentally started doing the looting. The instructions just weren't clear over there. This is actually a United Nations article published in 2009 when we had to confess our sins before the world. It reads in part, quote, Babylon was the capital city for two famous kings of antiquity, Hammurabi, who introduced one of the world's first law codes, and of course, Nebuchadnezzar. Partially excavated over the last century, much of ancient Babylon, which lies 90 kilometers south of Baghdad, remains undiscovered. Now, according to a 2005 British Museum report, the use of Babylon as a camp by a multinational force between April 2003 and December of 2004, by coalition forces is, quote, tantamount to establishing a military camp around the Great Pyramid in Egypt, or the Stonehenge in Britain. Tells us later that Babylon was indeed plundered during the 2003 war, when contents from Hammurabi and Nebuchadnezzar museums and from the Babylon Library and Archive were stolen and destroyed. Oh, well, did we just go to war because we wanted to go on an archaeological dig? And we actually weren't allowed to do that because it was discovered and it belonged to people in Iraq. So they were like, weapons of mass destruction. We're going to need to go there and set up camp and do some digging. Sure enough, that's what the locals said they did. And they just transported things out of there. This is from NBC News. It tells us that a senior U.S. military officer has said that he's willing to apologize for damage that his troops caused in one of Iraq's most famous ancient sites. The British Broadcasting Corp reported Friday that after the 2003 invasion of Iraq, U.S. Marines built a helicopter pad on the ruins of Babylon and filled their sandbags with archaeological.
Oh, wow. DJ said she fell asleep. Damn.
Yeah, I made a YouTube. I mean, goddamn.
I know I got your video, nigga. Don't worry. Calm down. Calm down, nigga. I got you.
Hold on. I did make that video like a while back, bro. Like I did make some videos about some shit like that, bro.
Oh, we've been talking about that. Remember when we were talking? Who was that dude?
Me, you, and Kyle.
It was Azazel. Remember, off of TikTok. Yeah, I was going in on that, and they kept kicking us off of TikTok live. I'm like, no, dude, this fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's what was going on.
Yeah, they found a Stargate, bro.
Try to figure out where yours is real quick.
We all know there's a Stargate fucking located right over there too, bro. Like, you know, right?
I think yours might be on the other page.
Yeah, it might be.
We'll go through there in a little bit then. But we gonna proceed. Let's do this.
I have been looking at the Epstein stuff. I've been going through everything, and oh my god. Bro, what are they doing? So, human cloning designer babies. Uh-oh, here we go. Sorry I can't make it. Did the cloning issue give you pause? I just, honestly, guys, I'm actually so glad that my mom isn't here to see this, because if she was, I would never hear the end of it. It would be over for me. It would be totally over for me. Like, I would just have to agree with her about everything. Because she's, yeah, apology time, exactly, yes. Apology time, this is nuts. I did reports on designer babies at school. There's a chance all of this is bullshit to distract us? From what? Yes, and her heart couldn't take it. You're hearing I told you so for the rest of your life. I would be. And I'm back. I met Simon. Let's schedule a call. I can discuss any questions you might have. Attached is a document you requested. It's the, quote, use of funds spreadsheet and the designer baby and human cloning company. Oh, my God. Well, so because she thought that basically there were two Joe Bidens. There was the smart Joe Biden that was the clone, and then there was the real Joe Biden that was stupid. And I remember the only counter that I had for that is like, if we had a smart Joe Biden, why would they ever roll out the stupid one? Why would they ever bring out stupid Joe Biden if they knew the smart one was there? They could use that. Why would they ever do that? It's like, is there ever an occasion for that? Both were stupid. Yes, I guess so. And solid and liquid Biden, exactly. The other one's on maintenance. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, he was on like repairs and stuff like that. What did my dad think? I don't think my dad even considered any of this stuff. I don't think he gave a shit about it. And anyway, oh no, Epstein, Bill Gates, Larry Cohen are discussing, oh yeah, by the way, was Jeffrey Epstein involved potentially with COVID or other types of pandemics? Of course he was, duh. So Larry and I have been working on deliverables at my time since BG3. At Larry's request, I have spoken with Roger. Everyone has offered guidance and ideas. Works to, put together to require documentation to make sure this time it's valuable. Two areas where I'm interested in: the scope of domestic health and neurotech and brain science. And I propose these are deliverables. Larry and I will let you know what I think. And where's the rest of it here? To improve access and secure personal health data, blueprint and or recommendations for zero knowledge, proof-based digital system to secure private.
Oh yeah, he created Bitcoin. He was like a co-creator or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You got an echo going on there, King. You have to put in your headset and unplug it for going to your mic settings. Either or.
Oh, I told you we were all going to pay for the stupid decisions that the country made. Well, now women's rights are being restricted, and they don't even realize it. Women that support Trump are not going to be able to vote now if the SAFE Act is passed. The SAFE Act actually states that your birth certificate has to have the same last name as your ID. And when we're in a country in which 81% of women take the name of their husband, and 14% of women hyphen their last name with the husband's last name, that right there is 95% of women who wouldn't be able to vote. And if you don't believe me, look it up. This is the SAFE Act. So just like I told you before, first, we ignored the Fourth Amendment, the constitutional rights of immigrants, because they're immigrants, right? Now they're going after women's rights, because just like Project 2025 said, one vote per family. And that's what J.D. Vance said he wanted. One vote per family. So we're inching closer and closer to that goal.
I don't know where he got this immigrants from. Those people are illegals, nigga. There's a difference. They came over by ill-gotten means. Immigrants come over with, hey man, we want to take a test. Come see. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he is what it is.
Pizzagate is 100% real. I haven't seen any photos of Jeffrey Epstein eating pizza. I'm starting to think that whenever he says pizza, he's actually talking about something else. You mean radiating a soft glow with this bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza. You guys feeling the same way about this?
Motherfucking politicians and their political schemes.
Today, it is officially the law of the land, at the conclusion of the congressional notification process, that 6 Mexican cartels and 2 transnational gangs, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, and MS-13. So 8 organizations in total are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be treated as terrorists. This is a sea change in U.S. policy. And this means the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, along with the rest of U.S. law enforcement and the Department of Defense, are now operating in a legal reality where these cartels are recognized as terrorists. And there will be a whole of government effort to remove these terrorists from our soil and to degrade their ability to threaten or undermine any American security or sovereignty interests. Border crossings, since the day he took office, are down 95%. I think it's almost impossible to even describe the scale and scope of that achievement. President Trump, within days of taking office, cut border crossings 95%. And those few who have dared...
You can't say numbers don't talk. 95% is a lot to put up on the board. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. Some people don't got any.
What's that? Oh, there's a violent windstorm that's about to happen in the near future? Oh, goody. Yeah, the storm that's coming, it's called a derecho storm. It's essentially a hurricane on land, which will actually have 100 plus mile per hour wind speeds, which will take down homes, power lines, flip over vehicles. Goody. The problem with this storm is that it moves so swiftly and so fast over a long distance, meaning it can go from state to state in just a matter of a few hours. Oh, fun! As of right now, it's predicted to go through Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and kind of that general area, and we don't know how far it's gonna go. I love that! That being said, people in those areas need to be prepared because this is going to come swiftly and kind of seem like it's just out of the blue. So make sure you're prepared. Okay, then.
Sounds like the solar wind, y'all. I'll be the first to get
What's
my
that?
activation
Oh,
powers.
there's a violent windstorm that's about to happen in the...
I'm gonna be the first. I'm gonna be the first Monkey D. Luffy. You know what I'm saying? King, you back yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Check your mic. Go into your settings for your mic and correct it real quick. Take out the echo. Said I like dude. Yeah, dude's cool too. Good business.
You can hear it?
Yeah, you good. Those are texting your floozies.
No. I went to go fucking make some food real quick, so I left my phone in the room, so it must have fucking echoed when I left.
Hell yeah.
I just made some chicken and some fries.
Chicken and fries.
You know what that is?
And I hear your sister talking in the background. She loud as fuck.
Oh no, that's fucking Mom Dukes.
Huh?
I said that's Mom Dukes.
Oh, that's Mama Dukes?
Yeah.
She is loud, dude. But it's her house, so she could be loud. Right. You must got your door open, nigga, huh?
Nah, it's closed, bro. It's just cause the room is right here and the bathroom is literally right next to the room. So it's like right there.
Yeah. She in the mirror doing witchcraft. I'm not lying. Shit.
Yeah. The bathroom is literally right there, like next to the room type shit. So you can hear all that shit because the walls are thin as shit, bro. Like it's not thick, it's like thin as shit. You can hear everything.
Hell yeah. Wait, let's play some more videos.
You do realize Ghislaine Maxwell's sister, Christine Maxwell, is the co-founder of Chiliad, which is the company that the FBI's counterterrorism division used for surveilling 9/11, right? Let's run it back. Circa 1996, mind you, when computers just hit the market. Christine Maxwell, known as an internet pioneer and entrepreneur, best known as the co-founder of the Magellan Internet Directory. But wait, this group was one of the first curated search engines, and she later co-founded Chiliad, which I just told you. But they specialized in data mining technology for government and intelligence agencies. You're seeing the bigger picture here, right? You're seeing. You're connecting the dots now. Everybody is so concerned.
Wow.
With Jay and the files and gobbling up the files, looking at the pictures and the videos and who's on the list. Pay attention.
You know who doing what? They're the only ones with the money in their pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta follow the narrow. Look at Bill Shakes. Bill Shakes be doing so much, man. This dude got farmland, all that shit. You know what he doing right now? I don't know what he doing right now. You know what he doing right now?
Who?
Bill Shakes.
I haven't been keeping up with shit with him.
I haven't either, really. But I got videos on that nigga. Because he was in the files. Him, Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all them niggas. Trifling. We've been talking about this for years. You remember when I started talking about that Isaac Kappy shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy shit.
Nah, but you know what's crazy that you mentioned that shit, bro? Their names have been quiet lately ever since this motherfucker got caught up. Ever since Diddy got caught up, bro, all them names been quiet lately. Like, I haven't been hearing them names.
Hush tone, everything. You seen them at the Grammys, though. You seen them. We all did. We seen all them niggas at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Only one we didn't see, Jay-Z, Beyonce. I don't know what that's about, but hey, we're going to keep it moving.
Oh no, you gotta go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about...
I'm not gonna lie, after we found out why Beyonce made a lot of the songs that she did and for what reasons, I am not shocked one bit to find out that Jay-Z is allegedly listed in the Epstein file.
50 Cent is still keeping his foot firmly on Jay-Z and Beyonce's necks. And now he's hinting that Beyonce herself might be tied into this whole Epstein situation. By now, you probably heard that Jay-Z's name popped up in those Epstein files. There's a woman claiming she woke up inside Epstein's mansion, and she says Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were both in the room. And as soon as that information started circulating, 50 jumped on social media talking about how he wants to put together a whole documentary on Jay-Z and Epstein. 50 said, damn, they got your man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this ish. But here's where Beyonce made a mistake, thinking she could control what 50 does. Allegedly, Beyonce got her lawyers to warn 50 to stop posting about Jay and Epstein. But as you can imagine, that just made things worse. So after 50 posted about possibly doing a documentary on Jay-Z's connection to Epstein, a source close to Beyonce said she was furious because apparently the Carters had already paid off major media outlets to not talk about this. Even the Shade Room quietly deleted their post about Jay being named in the Epstein files. And notice how TMZ, People, Us Weekly, Complex, Billboard, none of these outlets touched this story. So the Carters probably thought this was going to blow over, but they clearly forgot about 50 Cent, because if there's ever an opportunity to shade Jay-Z, 50 is not letting it pass him by. And you know 50 lives for a threat. That man gets energized when folks think they can scare him. So after word got out that Beyonce allegedly sent her lawyers to warn 50 about speaking speaking on Jay-Z and Epstein, 50 jumped right back on social media and shared a cryptic post hinting that Beyonce might want to back off. 50 also shared this AI-generated clip of himself and wrote in the caption, "I smell beef and popcorn." So now with 50 Cent stirring the pot, you just never know what else might come back up. We already saw how 50 dug up all kinds of stuff on Diddy for that documentary, things a lot of people didn't even know existed. So if he could do that, he could definitely do the same thing with the Carters. Now the real question is, can Beyonce actually stop 50 from making a documentary about Jay-Z? Well, the internet doesn't think so. Fans online are saying Beyonce might want to sit this one out, or better yet, call a divorce lawyer. But here's the thing, a lot of people are now starting to believe Beyonce might be complicit in whatever Jay-Z was allegedly involved in. And because of that, the divorce is highly unlikely. Because if we're being honest, Jay and Beyonce probably got dirt on each other, and it's safer for both of them to stay married.
Well, I still don't know what happened to Sia. Have you seen her?
Nope.
I haven't seen her either.
Have you seen 50 Cent's new DoorDash commercial?
Yeah, I got that motherfucking Jake, nigga. You know I got that Jake. Hold on, let's go over on the other side where your shit at, man. Fuck this shit. We gonna hang room switch. Let me get this thing on, man. You know what I mean?
That motherfucking dog.
Yeah, boy. You see how I switched the room up real quick? Oh man, we about to have some. Hold on now. Let's find out where this nigga
You need to start doing some merge shit, bro. Like if you really want your YouTube be popping, bro, you really need to be on that merge shit too, bro.
What's that mean?
Start selling merge.
Man, I'm a broke nigga. What the fuck?
I'm saying once you start blowing up type of shit, bro, like.
Oh no! When that happens, yeah, of course. I'm gonna have everybody gonna be buying merch, man. I'm gonna have some good ass shit.
A shirt like this, bro, with your logo beside it, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying, doggy. That's what I'm saying, doggy. You already know. Yeah. I'm trying to find this nigga shit. I don't remember where I put it. Oh, is this it? Hold on.
This is a test of the long-range acoustic device LRAD. 1, 2, 3.
Wasn't it? Here it is. I got you.
It's come to my attention that everyone's calling me a troll. Some said even the king of trolls. First of all, I'm flattered. But I'm done with all that. I would never do a deal with DoorDash and quite literally deliver beef when millions of people are watching. I mean, who would do something like that? Delivering quality beef is more of an art than science.
Yes, sir.
Don't want to be too obvious. It's all about timing. And I'm always on time. Oh, it's Doug Holmes. What a coincidence. No matter what kind of beef you have going on this weekend, remember DoorDash delivers. And you know what goes great with beef? A bottle of this beautiful Branson cognac, aged 4 years, or 50 months.
Okay.
Who's keeping count?
Oh shit, son. Oh shit, son. Hey, that shit fucking hilarious, dog.
Fucking diabolical. I'm like, I see what the fuck he did there, bro.
Hey, bro. The nigga is on. He should change his name to Tom Petty. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to the beef, this nigga goes lower than you could go.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That motherfucker, bro. He been doing shit like that for a minute, though, bro. He did it to Rick Ross. He did it to Rick Ross, bro. Like he was trolling the fuck out of him, bro. 50 Cent's really, bro. 50 Cent's really like. He's really like that though. Like,
he really like that, dog. Hey, why you think he called Tekashi his son, huh? Why do you think he called that nigga his son, huh?
That nigga son, nigga, he trolling.
Because he's like, yeah, you learn from me, nigga. I see you, nigga. I know you, but you my son. You my son. He hot. This little nigga right here, you know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he told him the game. He's like, look it, dude, these motherfuckers over here think I'm dumb. You know what I'm saying? They'll rob me and shit. They fucking my baby mama and shit. Then the motherfuckers over here thinking that I'm about to over here not tell the police. Nah, fuck them niggas. Nigga, them niggas over here trying to get me too, man. What the fuck? How the fuck I look, motherfucker, coming in my pocket, and I'm still over here working like I'm over here making a profit and shit. No, these motherfuckers trying to hang me up like Judas. Fuck that shit. I'm out.
I think this is been doing shit like that.
Hell yeah. But shit, you know, shit, it's about time, man.
Jews control Hollywood. Okay, let's go about sports. You're like, Jews, we don't do sports. We don't play sports, but we own the sports teams. 50% of NFL teams, 50% are owned by Jews. We make up 2% of America. We own 50% of NFL teams and about 33% of MLB, NBA, and NHL teams.
Yeah, all I could say is that age like fine wine, didn't it? Motherfucking people. Can't trust them damn yous. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to be the soldier boys in this bitch and Superman that hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, I'm still looking for your video. I can't remember what it looks like.
It's like it shows military in the front, and then I named it as a
Yeah, it was the Rock one, right, nigga?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah, gotta find it.
I named it a Stargate, so it should find
Well,
it.
it wouldn't say it in my downloads. It would say like numbers and letters and whatnot. It's weird.
Yeah, like yeah, because in the front, like you'll see, like it just shows military people, and then there's like a big ass rock in the middle of that shit.
All right, we're going back to open waters real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just had to take us over to that room and shit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Have to change it back over here, see where I can find military shit. Let's stop going fast, goddamn. Shit, what you got planned for the weekend? Or strong end, I should say. Oh, this must be it. This has to be it.
I had the whole week off. I gotta go back to work tomorrow.
Damn.
I'm moving back with Shorty next weekend though.
Oh damn.
Yeah, she gave me the green light. She was like, cause she talked to me about that shit too. She was like, yeah. She was like, we could try again type of shit. I was like, all right, I say less. She was like, she was telling me like, oh, you can move back in with me, da 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 da.
Man, you know what the thing is with that, man? You moving in, you get kicked out. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to do what I was doing before, bro. Cause I was arguing every day, bro. So I'm not trying.
What were you arguing about though? It was something to argue about, right? Because I remember it was something good to argue about.
Yeah.
Every time you had an argument, you had a valid point.
So she just ain't like that shit, though. I was doing that shit.
It's not what she don't like. If she don't have no fucking emotional understanding that there's a problem and there's something. Look, the thing is this: when there's a problem, it's probably because somebody's telling a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, the only way to untie a lie or to get through the lie and shit is untie the knot. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta let that shit go.
Mm-hmm. No, but we've been talking, bro. We've been going on dates and shit like that, bro. Like, been going to the hotel, been going to the movies, going on eating shit.
Hey, how come your freaky ass always gotta say, man? You gotta say the freaky part first instead of like, man, we go out and eat movies and then hotel. You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't you say the hotel last, huh?
Cause I'm just letting. We
know, nigga. That's the thing, though, man. You know what I'm saying? We know.
Well, I already booked the hotel.
Drone went to Epstein Island after Epstein was found dead, and they apparently saw him sitting on a golf cart where he then looks up at the drone, gets back into his golf cart, and drives directly into a garage. This video took the internet by storm, and people were convinced for years that this was Epstein. And the second I got close to the island, the tour guide tried telling me I had to leave.
There's people taking pictures on the island.
Okay. And as I faked out the tour guide one more time, I pulled up to the dock to ask some questions.
Loads of signs right here. Question. Excuse me. When I heard there's a resort, I heard there's supposed to be a resort getting built. A resort being built? Like a resort. I've seen there's supposed to be a resort here. Hold on. She waved me in.
So since she waved me in to come closer to the dock so she could hear me, I made sure to take full advantage of this.
I heard there's supposed to be like a resort getting built here soon. Is that true? Really? Okay. Why are you being a little passive aggressive? I'm just curious. Why are you being a little passive aggressive with that answer? Why are you being closed off? Because I'm curious for the public, you know what I mean? When's the resort getting built? I believe there is one getting built, but when? What's going on now? What's happening on the island now?
She begins making a phone call and quickly turns away from my camera.
I'm just curious. I know a lot of people are wondering. I can leave if you would like, ma'am. I'm just curious. I really don't mean to, annoy you. You know what I mean? She's ignoring me. Wow, you're being a little bit hostile.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why this lady couldn't just answer my question. It's not a hard question. It was literally announced to the public that they're opening a resort on the island. And let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like if she said yes or no, that doesn't break an NDA because she's not disclosing any information that's not already public. So I said something I probably shouldn't have to try and get her to talk.
Are there still kids on this island?
What I said to that lady is not a factual claim or allegation of wrongdoing. It was simply a literary device used in an attempt to extract wanted information.
I'm sketched out now because you're ignoring me and you're making phone calls trying to I don't know if you're trying to intimidate me or what, but it's not really working. Is there somebody maybe I could talk to?
Hey,
I'm really just curious. Am I not allowed to be here?
This nigga a troll, bro.
All right, ma'am. You have a good day.
This nigga a troll of the highest caliber. There's a lot of people been trolling on this shit, dude. Hey, you seen that shit they've been using over there in Michigan?
What you mean?
Yeah, I'll show you a little bit.
So they're saying Neverland is where Michael Jackson took children to protect them from what?
This right side? Oh. Nope. It's on the other side. Guys, dang it. There it is.
This is a test of the long-range acoustic device LRAD. 1, 2, 3.
Long range acoustic device. Now this has to be some old tech.
You know what's so crazy? I made a video about that shit a while back before this shit even happened, bro. I'm about to download that video that I made a while back, probably in 2025, bro. Before all this shit happened, bro, I showed that tech, bro. It was with the Hope movie. I used that clip because they used that shit in the Hope movie. And
that's what we were talking. That's what I was talking about with them weapons that they were using down there in Iraq.
Yeah. And then there was a gun from a movie, from an old movie from 2005, bro.
Yeah, the rail gun.
Yeah, they had that shit in the movie, and I put that shit in the clip too as well, bro. And then I put the military shit, the truck, the Humvee. I showed how that shit was working, all that shit. Bro, I gotta download a video, bro. I got all these videos, bro. Yo, all these shit that's going on right now, bro. I already made videos about this shit before it even happened, bro. Like all of it.
Hey, we both did.
Yeah, bro. Like we already knew niggas was gonna do all this shit, bro. Especially with this shit that happened in Iraq with them finding the Story Gig or finding Gilgamesh. All that shit, bro. We talked about all that
Gilgamesh
shit before.
and
Bro. We talked about all that shit before all this
yeah,
shit even happened, bro. Like it's like we manifest this shit, bro. Like we talked about this shit and this shit happening right now, bro.
hell yeah. But shit, they'll learn. Shit.
Hey guys, let's learn about something new together. So the next thing I want to talk about is far scarier than any laser or space weapon, and that is sound as a weapon, acoustic warfare. Now what you're seeing above me is the LRAD, or Long Range Acoustic Device. Originally this was designed for crowd suppression to break up protests and things like that. Now, basically what it is a high-powered speaker, but it also focuses that sound, so it's much stronger. Now, this doesn't sound particularly scary until you look into some other things about how sound affects the human body. And I want you guys to go to YouTube and look at this girl. Her name is Glam and Gore. And she did a video about weaponized sound, the LRAD, all kinds of stuff. Really interesting and kind of freaky. One of the frequencies that she talks about is the ghost frequency, which is between 18 and 19 hertz. It's a ultra low bass infrasound. And it causes anxiety. It can even cause visual hallucinations. It can cause intestinal discomfort, and in large doses can make somebody vacate their bowel. Pretty scary. And one aspect of this, and the reason that it works, is because your whole body vibrates at a certain frequency. And when you bombard your body with these frequencies, it can cause damage at the cellular level. It can generate heat in your body. And very serious physical discomfort. Now, the other end of the spectrum is ultra-high frequency. Now, both infrasound and ultra-high frequency sounds are imperceivable to the human ear, so you wouldn't even know that this was happening to you. And ultra-high frequency sound can cause headaches. It can cause, again, visual issues, all kinds of stuff. So something to be aware of. Now, what's crazy about this for me is that all the other pieces of technology that I have talked about are basically exclusively available to the military. This is something that has been provided to local law enforcement. It's also something that doesn't require a great deal of power in order to operate. So something to be aware of, that this technology is much more widely available than the other things that I've discussed in the past. Now, if you do find yourself in a situation where you're confronted with one of these devices, because it is such a focal point based device, you would not want to run directly away from it. You would want to run laterally out of its path of fire. Now, again, not trying to scare anybody, but just trying to keep people informed. Hope you guys enjoy my stuff. Have a great day.
Learning today. That's some good shit, though. That's some good shit. Yeah, I saw this art, dude. I was like, yeah, I gotta get that. That bad boy right there look nice. Mighty nice. Now I gotta get one with Beppo in the background and shit. Is that like the alarm clock you got right there? Let's get this.
Back up just in case, because this is kind of sketchy. All right, make sure you're ready. That was interesting. So it looks like if you wear the regular set of headphones and the riot shield, you can basically get close enough, you can almost touch the LRAD, and that thing is putting out 153 decibels at 1 meter, which...
Headphones. Riot shield. Amazon?
I'm just saying, man, y'all might want to get prepared, you know what I mean? Never know what the hell you gotta do to get to the grocery store nowadays, man. Never know. Stay vigilant.
You are now under arrest. Please sit down and wait for instruction. What's your credentials?
I'm at level 12 news.
I can't hear you.
I'm at level 12 news. BG on the scene. I've just pressed.
You don't have any press credentials?
I don't. I can show you.
All right, why don't you move out there, okay? Just get out there. Stay outside the line, okay? Coming out. Coming out.
Open chair right next to Charlie Kirk and Dick Crane. They made multiple arrests.
Test of the long-range acoustic device LRAD. 1, 2, 3.
When they say it's a test, man, that don't mean that they ain't used it already. You know what I'm saying? These people ain't, come on, man. Come on, man. Imagine if someone had a pacemaker and that shit fluctuated. That would be fucked up.
From the Serbia protest has been going pretty viral over the past couple days, and there's been a lot of questions and misinformation about it, so I thought that I would kind of chip in and do my part about what exactly is going on in this clip. You see, these guys kind of get really quickly dispersed in a line by something totally invisible, and it's kind of freaky. It's actually a non-lethal, crowd-controlled device called an LRAD. At its core, it's basically like a really, really loud speaker. It plays kind of a high-pitched alarm sound. It sounds kind of like this. Now, it's marketed as being totally safe, but it's totally not. The speaker on it goes as loud as 160 decibels. For comparison, permanent hearing damage happens at 120 decibels, and at 150 decibels, the eardrum bursts. The more interesting thing about it is that if you see on this video, it seems to affect these people in a totally straight line. So maybe you saw this and you thought, reasonably, that's not how sound works. What's going on here? Pretty much all speakers, including this one behind me, they work kind of like light bulbs. The cone shape makes them like project in one direction, but anyone in any direction relative to the speaker can hear it just fine. These things work more like a flashlight. They direct all the sound waves into a single directional beam. Now, this should be totally impossible, but someone came up with this idea where they have like an array of many, many speakers. They all point in the same direction. The ones in the middle play that alarm sound, and the ones around the edges are playing the same thing, but flipped upside down. And this means outside of that very narrow beam, the two signals cancel each other out, and anyone outside of there can't hear it at all. Technology that's used by noise-canceling headphones, and by me when I was 16, when I used to steal samples and instruments from songs long before AI splitters were ever a thing. That's how it works. I think it's kind of a crying shame that someone invented one of the most incredible audio technologies of the past like 50 years, and immediately a government went and said, oh, let's use that to hurt people. I hope you learned something, follow from our audio.
Yeah, it is interesting indeed. They've been using it against us.
You'll never be free until you realize this. It was never about what they think. It was always about whether you listen to yourself. We spend so much of life chasing approval, fitting into shapes that were never ours, walking.
You know, Ali Carter been making more TikToks. Check it out.
I never was tortured by Trump. And if I was, I damn sure don't know about it. But I was never tortured by Trump. That's not the point. But the fact that some of you are mad at me because I won't say that is telling. Why are we just having a conversation just about Trump like he's the only, we said we saw his name and all this stuff. Okay, because if it was, all of it was what it says it was, why wasn't that information out in 2016? When he was running for election, they drug out everything on that man. Why didn't they pull out that ball? But let's just knock politics off the table for a second. If you are just focused on Trump's name, you do not get it. We're talking about children. We're talking about children. Children!
We are the children. We are the world. See, Michael Jackson's trying to save these kids, man. That's what y'all understand. Trying to save the children. All the boys and girls.
I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, as I am innocent. Throughout my life, I have only tried to help thousands upon thousands of children to live happy lives. It brings tears to my eyes when I see any child who suffers. I am not guilty of these allegations, but if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give, to help children all over the world.
Telling y'all, man, I'm just saying.
Now here's something I never seen coming. CNN, which is a news channel that hates Trump, just reported that Trump, when he found out what type of guy Jeffrey Epstein was, he kicked him out of his club and stopped hanging out with him. Isn't that interesting coming from CNN?
The Journal reports that a spa worker from Mar-a-Lago often made house calls to Jeffrey Epstein's home 2 miles away. But those house calls, quote, came to a halt in 2003 after an 18-year-old beautician returned to the club from a house call to Epstein and reported to managers that he had pressured her for sex. The HR manager faxed Trump a letter suggesting that the club ban Epstein, and Trump agreed, which does mirror the president's own public comments about why he cut ties with Epstein. The White House is responding to the Wall Street Journal, writing, no matter how many times this story is told and retold, the truth remains, President Trump did nothing wrong, and he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep.
He cut ties with Jeffrey Epstein long before Epstein became a convicted sex offender. A lot of Democrats didn't, and it is corroborated by the Wall Street Journal.
Ooh, I know that was painful for...
Well, that's interesting to see, ladies and gentlemen. Especially with people like Trevor Noah saying that Trump went to the Epstein Island. Listen, there's a difference between jokes and just lying.
Yes, sir.
And when it comes to such a sensitive topic at such a sensitive time, those two things do not combine. If somebody did not go to Epstein Island, you shouldn't be joking saying they did, especially with this generation, which is a whole lot of robotic zombies that'll push the narrative that you just fed them. It's dangerous.
Real talk.
You should be sued. It's
Real
dangerous. Talk. You don't play those type of games out here.
Not for real.
You don't.
Lose life over that shit. Motherfucker won't won't sleep at night. I'll tell you that much.
Jeffrey Epstein said all of the gold at Fort Knox is completely missing. Did Trump ever find out where the gold at Fort Knox went? No visit by Trump or Musk to Fort Knox happened. No audit was publicly conducted. By 2025, the topic faded. Trump dropped mentions after late February. Musk stopped around April, and reports described it as all talk or abandoned. Huh. How about that?
Isn't that a strange coincidence? Isn't that strange?
Littlest Jeff also has a Twitch account.
Yo, this nigga alive? Bro. Say it.
No. No.
Say it, bro.
No. No.
Tell me. Come on, man. Some crazy shit, y'all. Watch your kids on Roblox. Watch motherfucking kids on Roblox.
This is Epstein, isn't it?
Look like
dude.
him. Look like him.
Dude.
Don't look like him. He look like quack like a duck, walk like a duck. If we hear that nigga, he talk like a duck shit, you might as well shoot that bitch. He quacking. It's duck season.
Oh, breaking fuck the news. Israeli cybersecurity co-founder says it's time to limit the First Amendment. It's time for the government to take full control over social media and what people say on social media. And guess what? I got the video of it because it was live, broadcasted live.
It's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online, and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking. The government should control social media.
Yeah. The government should have full and utter control of social media, and the First Amendment should be limited.
Yeah, not over here.
Hell, the United States of America.
Yep. Hey, them motherfuckers try that shit over here, we coming at you. Sickle cells and all. But shit, I digress. Let's get it.
To awaken to what you are, you must first forget what you think you are. To know joy, you must first taste sorrow. To uncover strength, you must first experience weakness. To understand peace,
To understand peace, you must know chaos. I know a lot of that. Let's get it.
Yo, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to get this to DJ T.
Okay.
Get this to Donald J. Trump soon as possible.
All right.
Hey, Donald Trump, listen here, bro. Hey, how much you paying per illegal?
This is an angle I haven't considered yet. Oh, this is big. Oh, this is real big.
How much you paying per illegal? Cause I got about 50 niggas over here, tall ones, like 6'1", 6'2",
Wow.
6'3".
Wow.
That I know can run a Mexican down.
Oh, wait. It went left real quick, man, and then he turned right back on track. I'm going with you, bro. Where we going with
In
this?
0.3 seconds, easy.
Whoa, that's fast.
We can round.
Yeah, put them up. Sign them up, coach. They need a job, yo. Sign them up. Track and field niggas. Jumping fences. The niggas digging under them. We jumping over them. Come on now.
So this is why you see Yakub right here politicking with a Blackamoor, because the Blackamoors are the ones who work with the bloodline of Enlil, right? Who are your so-called black nobility, and they use artificial religious systems to usurp the landmass from us. So that's why Yakub right here at the bottom, he is giving them the edification on how to use that process to where he can have the 6,000 year Canaanite bloodline to have dominion over the people on the planet, because that's why Yakub said verbatim, he said that I will make a group of people who will rule over you for 6,000 years, but the 6,000 years is up. So this is why this story in this movie is also synonymous to everything that's going on right now when you're talking about the metamorphic shift of the planet and how the planet is going from a third dimensional state to a fifth dimensional state, because it's the end of a cycle. It's the end of the cycle and the end of the beast system. So it's a transmutation process.
And we going into the liquid form so we could start to mold. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta start molding, y'all. Manifestation is what we have to do in our realization of who we are. You want to get, you have to ask the universe. And the universe answers. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't pay into good karma, you won't get no answers back. Matter of fact, you'll get a negative answer, if anything, because you pay. You have to owe. So, do what you gotta do to charity, you know what I'm saying?
4 elements: water, fire, earth, air, or Kai in air. And the 4 phases of matter: solids, liquids, gases, plasma, energy. We want to send vibration, good energy to each one, because we pulling in each realm when we doing that. You must understand what I'm doing when I'm doing this. I'm not just hitting the fucking bowl and saying some shit and standing here for no reason. That's not just there for no reason. Pay attention to it when you see it. Enlighten your soul. You need to look at that, because that's what you are. That's who you are. At your core. Black man, black woman, if you want to call yourself that. Because let me say something else too. Stop playing with me. You motherfuckers stop playing with me, man. Don't call me no fucking man. And if you want to use that word around other motherfuckers. See what I'm saying? Don't even use the word man around me unless you're referring to a human being. I'm a god. You must know who you are, black people. What the fuck is wrong with y'all out there? Wake y'all ass up. Y'all want to still say the word man. You better be talking about somebody white.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That knowledge for your ass. You know what I'm saying? Put your shirt on, nigga. Get it.
They ain't never listened to a nigga when he was here. All through history, even if you do believe in Jesus, they didn't listen to his ass when he was here. He was the most hated nigga when he was here. Even if you do believe in Jesus, nigga. So y'all ain't never listened to none of us that ever came in this bitch to warn y'all about shit, nigga. So I don't expect y'all to start now, nigga. You feel me? You know, y'all ain't never gave a nigga they flowers while he was here. You feel me? That ain't how that shit go. You might have a few of y'all that's gonna be like, man, I appreciate what you're doing. Really ready to step, genuinely. You know what I'm saying? So that'll go for all y'all, but if your third eye's open, you know what I'm saying on a deeper level. There's no reason why we shouldn't be warring. Ain't gonna be no change without it. And we gonna war regardless whether you want to or not. When I'm sitting there talking to y'all, this is what the ancestors want me to do. This is like me waking y'all up, giving y'all warnings. The ancestors warning y'all through me. Ancestors teaching y'all through me. You ain't gotta listen. I could be just another crazy nigga on YouTube to you. But anybody been following me know, for me to be crazy, I sure get kicked off YouTube a lot. I get kicked off YouTube Live. I got my last 2 YouTube Lives got ended abruptly.
We know why we know why, because of this.
And then, like, remember, we was Mississippians everywhere. So that's why I say it's not just Chicago and in the Midwest and all. No, it's even LA and everywhere. That energy everywhere because we had these tribes. And each side of the Mississippians had warriors. And in the capital was Cahokia. What Cahokia, Illinois is today. You feel me? But it was that warrior energy everywhere. See what I'm saying? Naturally. Why? Because we got all these ley lines. Remember, we activated them. They froze the planet in time, but we still activated certain energy points. So the energy activated, and we didn't get to use it because we started losing more of the war. So we became many smaller tribes, and they started building over these energy points. You get what I'm leading to? This is where your railroad tracks come from. All your railroad tracks is strategically placed along ley lines.
Yeah, I could keep this one going tonight, y'all. We stream past a lot of time. I haven't really been doing any of the shorts, so it kind of works out.
There are underground tunnels that are under the schools, elementary, junior, and high schools all over the place. They exist everywhere. They lead to amusement parks. They lead to hospitals, cemeteries, schools, celebrity homes, psychic shops. They lead everywhere. Yes, there's every means of transportation. There's every walk of life. There's cities. There's different air supply. There's at 15, my put me on an order to go to the Getty, Los Angeles, California Museum. I was told I was going to walk through a field trip. I was taken with another girl. I call a friend of mine, and we were put in dresses and sandals. We were taken in a sports car. We're not taken in a sports car. We pulled up to the museum in a sports car. We were told that we were trying to give a different appearance. So we were walking through, I remember walking through kids. I remember walking in and seeing school buses. I remember walking in and seeing children and chaperones through the museum. And I remember people staring at us as if we were somebody special. We walked through the museum. There are employees that know exactly what's going on in the museum. They block the doors. They know where the entrances and exits are. They take their orders from someone else when someone is trying to get underground through the Getty Los Angeles Museum. I was walked through. I remember taking stairs, going through a garden, taking an elevator, but I was walking. There are many situations in traffic where you can be alert. Some of my parents did not let me see where I was going. Sometimes I was so I was carried into a job, dressed, and then placed in a room and waiting for my order because I couldn't move myself. So at this time, I was able to walk. I was able to see what was going on. And I remember walking through. I remember talking to certain people after we got so far. I remember my ears popping. I remember feeling like I'm choking because the air was so weird. We got to a certain point and there was a it looks like a basement. It looks like where they keep things that were not public display in the museum. And after getting so far, we were in tunnels. We were put on cars, drove to a certain point far. I seen
And she is exactly describing what a deep underground military base installation connection is.
Cars, boats, there's trains, there's buses, there is every means of transportation under the ground. There's a city under the ground. There are there's a different air supply that kicks in after you get so low. After getting down there, I talked to a few people. I was able to meet celebrities, actors. I'm not a person that knows somebody just by name or by face or right away. I was somebody who remembered somebody from a movie or something like that, or something that they did. I was able to speak with somebody that was so cocky, and I remember telling him, I know you from Look Who's Talking. That's all. And I remember everybody laughing at me because I was 15, and I'm like, the only thing that I know you from, John Travolta, is Look Who's Talking. I know there were many comedians, Kathy Griffin, Robin Williams, I was on an order for Joe Biden.
Great.
I was taken to somewhere where there were an party. There was a contest going on. There's a certain part that has a shrine where I was taken, and what I mean by shrine is it was bones. It was things that have happened to other people. They take shrines. They take like a trophy, whether it was a ripped shirt, panties,
shoes,
hands, pieces of
gloves.
There's a smell that you can't even flinch towards down there. You will. There was shrines. There were shrines used for rituals. There's places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have sex. There's blood. I don't even know who it belongs to. There's people who want to. There's down there. There's people who have animals. Animals. I was taken and told that I had to give a blood to Biden. Something happened. I don't know what happened. I was down there for a while. There's certain people that you don't talk about because you just don't. There were certain people that I seen down there, from Beyonce, Jay-Z. You don't tell on P. Diddy, but P. Diddy,
it's called
you're
programming
nothing
shoes.
to them. You don't count. You're just a toy. You're not essential, as they call them. You're expendable. And as a child in that situation, I wasn't the type of person that was fighting all the time, because I started to learn who I was. I started to learn my parents. I started to learn what I was in. I started to learn that you don't fight. You watch what you say, you watch what you do. And at some point, I stopped fighting people. And I started to accept the fact of what I was told, that I was special enough to be with this person. I was special enough to be in the eyes of a celebrity or somebody who was on the radio or on TV. And I accepted that. I was,
she was being programmed.
while I was down there, there was something that happened. There was I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight. There was a shoot. I was taken from one room to another, and then from there, someone left me there. I started moving and trying to get out of where I was. I was with the friend that I came in with, who was freaking out. She was hyperventilating. She was crying. She was trying everything to get out, and it made us get deeper in. The lower you go, the harder it is to get out. No one knows where the doors are. No one knows where the exits are. No one knows where some of these tunnels lead to. So it's not as easy as just say, I'm just going to get out, or I'm just going to try to find a way out. If you are walked in, you're escorted in, somebody has to help you get out. After what happened, we had to leave. Again, I don't know what was going on. I'm still not sure what happened that night.
Let him down into the back rooms. Some fucked up ass shit.
Well, it seemed like the saga continues. Oprah Winfrey. Like I said, y'all, this has been crazy to me to hear Oprah Winfrey say a lot of these things, especially from my last two videos, bringing Jamie Foxx into a situation that he felt uncomfortable in. Like I said, it's just a lot going on. Because I had so much respect for Oprah Winfrey. Like I said, she was a successful woman. She's a billionaire. But like I said, after I started checking out these videos of stuff that she said and did, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So today we got another video where Oprah Winfrey reacts to getting counsel after new revelations. Oh my God. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I appreciate you as well. And I want to shout out to everybody who just clicked on this video for the very first time. And I appreciate you as well. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive straight into this video. And let's see exactly what's going on.
Got him fucking blasted in hell. See, and he didn't even show me the video, so I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? That's why I talk about his ass, because he got that filter on.
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. Shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower.
Jim Carrey l'a dit avec humour, Gabriella l'a dit en pleurant, mais Nikolai, lui, l'a tweeté avant de disparaître. En 2022, ce génie de la crypto va tweeter.
Il dirige un réseau de trafic sexuel. Ils vont me tuer.
4 heures plus tard, on va le retrouver noyé. La police conclut un accident, mais Nikolai avait juste compris leur langage. Regardez cet email d'Epstein, il communique par code.
Très peu de bon fromage à la crème pour des millions de bébés.
Ça ne veut rien dire, on dirait juste qu'il commande des humains. Et le FBI était au courant de tout ça. Dans un document officiel datant de 2019, mais qui refait surface en 2026, un agent écrit noir sur blanc.
Ne savait pas que le président Bush l'avait fait aussi.
Que ce soit Jim Carrey, Gabriella, Nikolai ou des milliers d'autres personnes, ils ont tous essayé de nous dire la même chose. L'élite nous cache des choses terribles. Écrit France, si tu veux que je te parle de tous les Français de la liste. Ou partie 3, si tu veux que je fouille encore plus ces dossiers.
He must have been one of those, like Ali Carter, you know what I'm saying? Which I think I got one word out of this, but kind of know what he's talking about. Yeah, I think he was just like Ali Carter and shit. So basically, like, he got unalived, but he was a whistleblower from back then. Well, surviving victim, I should say, because it wouldn't be a whistleblower. He wasn't in operation.
So when you turn against your higher self, you suffer. So the first thing you do is the spirit will tell you to do one thing, your lower nature tell you to do the other. And most of the time you follow the lower nature. As soon as you fuck it, you say, damn, I told you to do the other shit. against a thought. That's your higher self saying, fool. I know all. You see, you supposed to have done this. That's your higher self. So, breaking it down and say you got an angel on the right of you and an angel on the left of you, which is actually higher nature, lower nature. And the angel on the right of you will tell you every damn time you need to do this shit. And it always tell you first. Because you always ask the question first. Because you're asking the Akashic records, which is the melanin computer. What should I do? And it gives you the damn answer. But then you start rationalizing and intellectualizing, and then you go to the lower nature. Oh, fuck that shit. Yeah, I can do it this way. Boom.
Learn how to tell that motherfucking nigga shut the fuck up.
So when you turn against God, it's not turning against a God up there. The God up there don't exist. It's only a big ball of energy that don't give a fuck whether you live or die. But what God are they talking about? They're talking about your higher self, which is God, because that is connected to God and is one.
You gotta follow your path. It's set out for you. You just don't want to listen to it. It's your fault. You just gotta deal with the consequence. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the consequence.
You don't get it. You don't get it. They have it all. You don't get it. Watch the show. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you. Even if you hate me, you might want to watch it. Especially if you hate her. Your name might be mentioned. Go!
This shit joke.
And today I'm also pleased to announce that the Department of Education is officially issuing its new guidance to protect the right to prayer in our public schools. That's a big deal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Worst thing they did was separate those two. I tell you.
Now the Democrats will
teach
sue
them
us,
morals.
We'll win it. We'll win it. They'll sue us. They sue us for everything. I'm the most sued human being in history.
Fact. That's a fact.
Will there be an earthquake at this year's Super Bowl? This video is speculation and my own opinion, not meant to scare anyone. So let's go down the Bad Bunny rabbit hole. Here we go. San Ramon is down the street from Levi Stadium and 36 miles away, and they
you
have
already
been getting
know I'm
storm quakes
betting there
for
will
3 weeks. These quakes are on Calaveras fault line, which connects to the San Andreas. Just today there was an earthquake on the Juan de Fuca plate that hosts the underwater volcano and connects to the San Andreas. These quakes are less than 40 miles away from where the Super Bowl will be held. Big quakes on big sports events is a Bay Area specialty. Just go back to 1989 when a 6.9 quake stopped the World Series cold. And that was much further from than Santa Clara to San Ramon. Scientists agree that the San Andreas and Cascadia subduction zone are overdue for huge earthquakes.
Oh yeah, man, that Batman.
That's a lovely, lovely voice.
I'm calling it now, yo. Calling it now. I don't want to be that guy that says he said it, but I said it. You know what I'm saying? It's being shown around the world for the first time in history, and some say we might see the emergency broadcast screen. Exactly. I guarantee that's the first thing that's going to open with. Shit. Hell. I'm going to tell you this, though. When they fuck with that snake, when they fuck with that snake, you fuck with the seraphim, you fuck with him, who is Gadriel. Shit, you better hope Michael will save you. You better hope.
Right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have... There you go. Got it? Okay. And if you put it back, you just spread out a little bit. You're
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Nobody was going off on Biden, though. Nobody.
You remember that? No, not smile. No, make it to your 30. Hey, Angel, how old are you? You're 12, what you did? How are you? The problem is, you know, you guys, you got a hard time.
Bruh.
All right, sister. I like kids better than people.
Bruh.
That's correct.
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
He's like Doc. What's that dude? Herbert off from Herbert the Pervert.
Bruh. Bruh. It's literally on camera.
He don't give no fuck. He used to.
It's
Epstein was
camera.
filming him the whole
Not
time. Epstein was filming him the whole time, bro. Why you even tripping? Huh? Come on, man.
I just want you guys to see how these individuals are puppets and they're zombies. And they're completely
I've been
just
told 'em.
brainwashed.
I've been told him, dog. You ain't gotta say
They're
nothing.
brainwashed in the world.
I digress.
It's so sad. You know who else they thought was crazy?
Chester the
Gabriela
molester.
Rico Jimenez, who went to the elite's party, ran out saying they were eating humans.
Yeah, oh girl.
And from my understanding, she disappeared after that video.
Said they're all bad. They're all bad. They're eating humans. It's disgusting.
That's why even talking about this type of stuff is dangerous.
Biden was
It's
displaying it
dangerous.
publicly, but a lot just act like they didn't see nothing.
It's dangerous.
No,
Have you
this
ever heard
is
about
the
the
thing.
Hampstead children?
They were
who came out talking about what they were doing
desensitized
with
to
their
it because
papa?
of how much he did it. He
I wanna
did
hear
it
about
all
that
the
one. Let's check that
time.
one out.
Everybody knew what his fetish.
This woman is talking about eating
Fetish
humans.
was little kid.
Eating humans, guys. Chrissy Teigen, John Legend's wife. The people who just completely hate Donald Trump. We hate him. Oh my gosh, I hate his guts.
Mm-hmm.
Same individuals who were laughing super hard when Trevor Noah was talking about Nicki Minaj.
Mm-hmm.
Different people have tried to come out.
You got a point.
Some niggas that went to that island. Why the fuck would you go to that island? I get high. Went to the dentist and gave me some nitrous. Went to the dentist and put in some diamonds. I did that offer some niggas to China.
I'm gonna play it again. Hold on.
Some niggas that went to that island. Why the fuck would you go to that island? I get high. Went to the dentist and gave me some nitrous. Went to the dentist and put in some diamonds. I did that offer some niggas to China.
So why did the fuck you go to that island? Huh? Yeah. That's fucked up though. But it makes sense. Let's get back to Levi though.
Why won't China, India, or Russia let the United States get control of Venezuela? Think about it for a second. These are all nations that are part of the BRICS. And what are BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Where exactly is Venezuela located? Now, let's talk about it. Brazil, located in the heart of South America. And guess what borders Brazil? Venezuela. So there is no way that Brazil, which is the B in BRICS, can have United States influence in Venezuela. This would be like Ukraine actually joining NATO, bordering Russia. I really don't think you guys understand how close to World War III we actually are right now. There is no way that the BRICS nation can let the United States have control over Venezuela with one of their countries directly bordering. Okay? I told you that would be like Ukraine actually getting accepted into NATO and us being able to knock on Russia's back door, put whatever we wanted there. Okay? If the United States get Venezuela, then they can put whatever they want in Venezuela and have direct access and missiles capable to strike inside of Brazil within minutes. And the BRICS are not going for that. I guarantee it. And y'all do know that Venezuela has already filled out their application to join BRICS. I wonder if that application will be accepted. Wasn't Vice President Rodriguez just in Russia? Wasn't she just there?
Yes, sir.
And Colombia? Well, Colombia has already joined the NDB, the New Developmental Bank, which is a part of BRICS. They haven't been officially signed into BRICS yet, but they have taken their steps to becoming a member. So now would be a time for the United States to really think about what's going on, because World War III, right there at our doorstep, would be catastrophic for the American people.
I mean, to be honest, after the display that we put on over Venezuela, who's gonna fuck with us? If we use that shit on our own people, what do you mean we won't use it on you? Come on now. Don't be stupid. Smart about this shit.
See? See? Can we Can we try it just one more time? Can we take it from the top?
I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me. Mom's there and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? I said, are y'all crazy? I tell you that Michael did something bad so that sue him for money? I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? She looked at him right now and said, nothing happened. Michael was flirting with girls right in front of me. I saw him looking at girls' booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, he reached out to me because a lot of things were happening, like, big and fast with me. And I think he identified with that.
93, when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Who you said, by the way, did not abuse you.
Who Michael was innocent. And that was what the interview was about with the police in 1993. I told them he is not that guy.
He's a good friend of mine, and he still is.
Your brother knew him too?
Yeah, no, we all did.
And he'd bring my sister and I on stage. Always loved him so much.
We just had the best times.
How did you meet him? We ended up staying in touch for like many years after.
He invited myself and my family to go to the ranch.
Wow.
He's a great friend.
He just treated me like gold.
The experience that we had with him was one of, love.
Continued to be friends with him for about a decade. The great times we had here. And
happy to have been his friend.
I would say he was even greater as a person.
One of the most important people in my life.
I was one of the people that believed that he was guilty of something, and I did not know the intricacies of all the people that came forward and how conflicted those individuals were and why they came forward and who was behind them coming forward. And then you learn Rabbi Shmuley's in the mix and you're like, something's wrong here. Okay. This man, if he's next to you, it ain't good. Okay. Instant no. Turnip Health writes, the innocence lost breaks my heart. I know.
That's not a worrying thing.
Why should it be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room? This is a guy trying to help heal a child.
Yes, sir. And be brave we shall. Lead this new generation into the new world.
You know how they told you had a guardian angel? Well, your guardian angel is really you. Okay. Remember how they told you when we was believing in Christianity, we was little. Say everybody got guardian angels.
Yeah.
The guardian angel is you. That's your higher self. And it's always watching over you, always talking to you, guiding you. Guiding, because it's not guiding you, it's really trying to guide the body. Because you got to understand the higher self and the lower self and the spirit and the soul are four different things. But listen, it's four yous. You got your higher self, your lower self, you got your soul and your spirit, and then you got the body. So it's five, right? The reason it's five because these five lines up with that star, all right? That star is not a star. That 5-point star is really a Merkaba, okay? Now they show it to you as the symbol as the Egyptian star. They tell you this the same star they got on the Israel have on the flag. And then you see certain gangs adopt the star, like Gangs of Disciples adopted the star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But really, we only looking at it at a 2D perspective, when really we should take it out into the 3D or 4D. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more to these things. It's like the arm, legs, and the head.
So after Pusha T's name was mentioned in the Epstein files, does anybody remember when he said, "I won't let you ruin my dreams"? Don't Harvey Weinstein the kid. Good morning, Matt Lauer. Can I live? What did he mean by that?
That's a good question. Yeah. The new generation is kind of cooked. I call them the COVID kids. You know what I'm saying? Anything after 19, I said anything after 18, they cooked. And the ones who grew up with the democratic school system, popped. Like, I'm surprised I learned anything in school. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was one of those kids, they just passed. Here you go, send them through. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't read, but shit, I still made it. Here now. You know what I'm saying? Got my GED and everything. Self-taught, baby.
Epstein's Fortnite account is active in Israel? No.
What the fuck? I told y'all. Y'all. Devil's in the detail, y'all.
Music is a great example. It's a common man's example. You know when you hear a certain song, it makes you feel a certain way. How does it do that? We don't know. We can't mathematize it. And even that music, Steve, nowadays we compress music. When you have a violin, it's compressed onto your iPhone. So what does compression mean? I'm taking lots of information and I'm cutting it into lots of pieces and squishing it together. And when I squish it or compress it,
he sounded like he was talking to Bill Clinton or Bill Gates.
But I say that they're not very important pieces. It's those pieces that we take out when we compress data, to me, are the most interesting parts of life.
You just said a while ago, part of this new search for science may go back to when people were actually talking about a soul.
What the fuck did it do that stupid ass bullshit? Fucked up my damn head. That was loud for no reason. Shit.
So apparently this guy is one of the reasons we even have microtransactions in Call of Duty. And yes, the reason they're called CP, too. As if ruining the lives of the kids he took to his island wasn't enough, he somehow found a way to mess with kids all over the world just trying to play Call of Duty. Truly unreal. Emails that came out showed Jeffrey Epstein's advisors were talking to former Activision CEO Bobby Kotick as early as 2013 about microtransactions in Call of Duty. And the wild part? They could have picked any word that means currency, but they landed on one that abbreviates to CP. You really can't make that up. Honestly, it's not shocking that Kotick's name is in this mess. For years, he allegedly knew about the harassment and abuse issues at Blizzard and chose to ignore them. It gets even stranger. In 2018, Epstein's advisors reportedly told him to buy Activision Blizzard stock ahead of Black Ops 4 because they believed Blackout would be a hit. Apparently, Epstein himself was a huge Black Ops 4 player and was all in on Blackout, ride or die. At this point, you could almost jokingly label any developer who pushes aggressive microtransactions as an Epstein disciple. Dark humor, sure, but the connections are still disturbing.
I mean, he ain't wrong, you know what I'm saying? He is not wrong. But you was right, he is Andrew Jackson's lookalike. Might be that nigga in flesh.
They say that there's an entity, the God that you are looking for, there's a residence, it lives inside of your heart. And so ye are gods, it's not written in the law that ye are gods, but it's inside of your heart chakra. That's why if you really want to access the power, you got to be true to self. And you can't lie to yourself. And you got to love self. You said, now that's getting to some 12-step program. I'm not talking about loving self as a cliche. You got to love yourself, because that's kind of hard to do. How you love yourself is basically you have to stop comparing yourself to other humans. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that each one of us have a characteristic that we can do. So you know there's something about you that you love about yourself. Now you might love things in other humans that's not you, but you don't need to focus on that. You need to focus on that particular part that you love about yourself. There's something about everybody in here that's unique that you love about yourself. I might scratch my ass the right way. I mean, that shit might be right. But I like that. But that's something I love about myself. You gotta find out what is unique in you that you like about yourself.
Yes, sir. You gotta start thinking like, stop competing and start completing. You feel me? Said, oh my bad, I thought our friend Andrew had shown up. No, we were talking about Andrew Jackson, face ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it moving.
So what we did as the Ananuki, we assigned a small part of us. We set up an actual group of us assigned specifically to helping civilize the human beings. And the goal was to take them from that spiritual state to a soulful state by giving them knowledge of self, which will help them go into higher dimensions, which would then decalcify their pineal gland. All right? This was the plan, y'all. So the group that we left in charge of the human beings was called the Moors. M-O-O-R-S. The Moors are the ones that taught the human beings literally everything they know, because we left them in charge of them. And the Moors are black. They were black, or if you want to call it, they were black people, or they the guys too. We just sectioned them off and gave them that name because they had a special job to go into the caves and civilize these people, help civilize all these people that was living like animals. All right, so the Moors went into the caves, cleaned the caves up, helped civilize them, taught them art. The Moors taught the human beings how to draw. The Moors taught them about all the different galaxies. The more we taught y'all about cathedrals and putting shapes, some type of thing. The Moors taught the human beings that. All right, so while teaching these human beings everything they needed to know, the Moors began to grow a love for the human beings that was different from us, because they was working hand in hand with the human beings every day.
I guess.
We never really fully grow up, so because you passing through these phases and you're never working on your soul, you're never working on your spirit, you never meditated. See, a lot of us is filled with pain that weighs on our souls because we were taught emotions. These emotions are not healthy for the soul, so it weighs us down, and we get fed these emotions as young as 5. along with all these peer pressures. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say there are no children here. Okay, so what happens is by the time we become adults, you got all these adults that were rushed into what they think is adulthood, and now they are parents, but they don't know that when they are parents, they are really just paying rent for that child. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that when they go to work at their job, they are really just a small ant in a huge colony, helping the queen ant, which is the elite, run these factories that they are, which help kill and conquer you. We don't know that because we wasn't taught that. You know, in order for you to learn that, you have to go through infantry, then wake your way up through childhood, and from a child into an adolescent, from an adolescent to a teen, from a teen into a higher phase of adulthood, from an adult into a higher phase of like an elder. You know what I'm saying? You know, so if you never go through childhood, because you never have a chance to go through that as a spirit and a soul, then how can you ever rise to the adult version of your spirit and soul? You can't.
What it do? What it do, Moog? Moogie Moog in the building. Let's get it.
That's how y'all sound. It ain't the master, y'all. It's us. He been whooping our ass. He been poisoning us with our food, our water, our kids. Fucking up our chakra energy. Got niggas jagging off at 8 because you flooding the images with pornography. Little girls, playing with the pussy because you flooding them with pornography. They fucking us up on every level. Every disease was made for us, and you house Negroes still in 2021. No, y'all. It ain't us. We are our own worst enemy. Every time somebody black killed another black person, we are... Nigga, who gave that black nigga the guns? Who put the guns in the community? Right, because your ass a coward. Right. Fucking cowards. We always had you bitches amongst us. Y'all the weak links amongst us, nigga. I'm a warrior, nigga. I'm a fight for righteousness, nigga. Fuck the system, nigga. Everything that, nigga, every motherfucking Congress gonna die about this shit, boy. We not playing. Every one of these motherfuckers is raping these kids, is posing as Congress members. All y'all ass gonna pay for what y'all done did to us, man. That shit, that's on my soul, on my speech. I don't give a fuck how many lives y'all fuck with, nigga. That don't stop what's coming to y'all ass, nigga.
I can't even say politicians.
And like I said on Twitter the other day, y'all so scared of me, America. Y'all so scared of me, but I'm not what y'all should fear. But you should fear those who sent me with this message, though.
Got you up. We ain't going back to sleep. God's is up. And we ain't going back to sleep. Let's change it back up to this open seat. See how far we can take this beef.
So they're saying Neverland is where Michael Jackson took children to protect them from what was being done on Epstein's island. And because he was going against their regime, they punished him and they flipped the script and made it appear as if he was the one abusing them, when in reality they were abusing them, and he was protecting the children, he was protecting the celebrities. And you have celebrities like Macaulay Culkin who have gone on record to protect and defend Michael Jackson. This all makes sense. It has finally come together. This man has been dead for so long, but now it's coming together. That's what the little birdie told me in the little research I did. I am appalled. Not only did he protect the children from the physical things that were being done to them, and you know what I'm saying, you just social media, you gotta be careful, but he also were protecting them from the social and emotional abuses that were occurring by advising Britney Spears to get out from under her dad before the conservatorship and things of that nature. This man was a lifesaver. Nonetheless, those of you who are like me, help me fact check this, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure this is right, but this is what I've been hearing up to this point, and it all makes sense.
Yeah. When you start to see the bigger picture, you'll understand the whole art and who made the picture. You know what I'm saying? When you see the bigger picture, You understand? Every stroke that they did was diabolically given, methodically driven, and subliminally hidden. But hey, we know now. Let's get it.
The Caucasian male will 100% be responsible for the extinction of the white race. Now, let's talk about it. Divide and conquer was their plan, but they never thought that they would divide and we would conquer. See, what happened is they've done everything that they can to keep the black man and the black woman from being together. And you know what happened whenever you do that? Well, we got a lot of black men that decided to date outside of our race. And what's that doing? Well, their birth numbers were decreasing before you and I were ever born. For instance, Emmett Till. What if I told you it never happened? It's just a story that they push to keep black men from trying to talk to white women. I know a lot of you will be like, no, they said it was true. They told you about Jesus and aliens too. Now look at you. They decided to divide, but not realizing that they are being conquered. They are being bred away, people, and they know it. They're getting ready to do everything that they can to try to keep black men and white women from procreating anymore. So not only was there the Emmett Till situation, you also have the Willie Lynch ones, in which they told you how they were going to separate the black families and have everyone roles be reversed. The men be feminine, the women masculine. It's happened. It's working. It's not in their favor because the black men that no longer want to deal with the unruly, over-masculated black woman are now taking their calm, docile, submissive white women. And we are changing the color of their skin. Now, besides the fact that that changed, which race causes the most wars? You can't name two black countries that's fighting, launching missiles and killing each other. Right now you have Russia and Ukraine who have killed millions of each other. What color are they? That's right. Right. So once again, extincting the white race off of this planet themselves. And once again, if you like the shades, tap the link right here. Go out and purchase you some. Once again, I'm demonetized on here, and the only way I can make money is if you guys buy things when I show them to you.
Hey, he ain't wrong, though. He ain't wrong. I am not monetized. They ain't paying me. But fuck it. I like to play shit on YouTube so people know what I think and what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. In the Epstein files, there's a receipt from YouTube where his username is LittlestJeff1. Hello, LittlestJeff1. Wait, LittlestJeff1. There was a charge in May 2019, but he died in August. Wait, Chapter 5, Season 1. That was recent.
Just saying, y'all. Just saying.
Yesterday we were talking about this picture and my dad's old folklore story about Kuru, which is a prion disorder that you get from eating human brains in the spinal cord. And then someone sent me this email where they went and they searched the word prion. And this is a mathematic equation that Jeffrey Epstein is trying to create to be able to determine when the mutation happens inside healthy prions that create Kuru. This is the email from Jeffrey Epstein to Martin Nowak, and it reads, maybe like mathematics, we should devise a system of symbols to represent actions and actors. Death, life, division, cooperation, degree of life, prion virus growth, disease, the grammar for the new language, life before death, mutation in its various forms. Right now we only have rate, etc. Lyase, lysis, metastasis, aggressiveness, receptor strength, etc. Now, Kuru is a disease that was found in the brain. It is a neurological disorder that you get from ingesting human brains and spinal cords and ingesting mutated prions. So this essentially is a prion. It is a folded protein. This right here, the curly cues, that's what you want. That is full activity. But when they mutate, they turn flat. And that
Yeah, that's some problems we won't deal with. You know what I'm saying? We ain't out there eating babies and shit.
This most dangerous game, as they refer to it, was a matter of human hunting. And when a mind control slave such as myself was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods, I was then hunted by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton, among others. But they were the main ones.
You're going to stand right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have...
There you go.
Got it? Okay.
Okay, and if you want it back, you just spread out a little bit.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men.
It was a big year for pedophile movies, so in the end, he obviously didn't himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein.
You're saying he's not afraid of 50 Cent. Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
There ain't never been no 50 Cent Jay-Z conversations. There's a huge difference.
50 Cent just stepped into the chat amidst the allegations about Jay-Z being on the Epstein list. And he just made things 10 times worse for Jay and Beyonce by exposing all the other dirty dealings they have had, leading up to this very moment. And to make matters even worse, 50 also revealed that he is currently working with Netflix for another documentary. But this time, it's going to be about Jay-Z. Okay, so this entire mess started when the Department of Justice released 3 million documents from the Jeffrey files, along with 2,000 videos and roughly 180,000 images. The latest batch included mentions of celebrities like Jay-Z, Pusha T, and Harvey Weinstein. A lot of people were waiting to see Jay-Z on that list way before any of this came out, because there had been rumors about him. But for some reason, it still took people a while to process the fact that he was actually in there. According to an FBI crisis intake report included in the latest release, an anonymous victim who claims she had been and essayed in several instances throughout the years said Pusha T was one of her handlers. Also in the report, the victim said she once woke up in a room with Weinstein and Jay-Z with her.
I didn't know Pusha T was a pimp. Shit. Oh. Pushing teenage pussy. Oh. Holy shit. How we ain't see that? How we ain't see that, y'all? How we ain't see that? Pushing teeny pussy. Come on, man. Fucking deep teeny bopper, bro. God dang.
The moment that you get ready to die or have an NDE, your consciousness transfers to a reality that you already made it. It might look 99.9% like the reality that you just came from, but there's going to be different details. You really can't die. The awareness behind you cannot die. You are eternal.
Flat earthers, where are you? Y'all do know you can't believe that 3-Eye Atlas is hiding behind the sun if you believe we live on a flat, stationary earth. Now, let's talk about it. If we live on a flat, stationary earth, that would mean that the sun is rotating above. It's not the earth rotating around the sun, which would mean that 3-Eye Atlas can't be hiding behind the sun. You know what seemed to amaze me most is that people get to a point of not believing what the government say, not believing what NASA says. And now all of a sudden, you all are waiting to hear what NASA has to say about 3-Eye Atlas. Now, we know the Earth is stationary, flat. You can ask any pilot. FBI documents have been declassified stating that this is a flat.
DJ, are you saying that the Bureau is going to stop hiding behind the sun? that it's going to come in from one of the other planes, or that NASA threw one up there. Because no matter what, they're spraying inside of our dome. NASA ain't gonna tell us anything. It's real. That's why it's never a straight answer. That's all you get.
Flat earthers, where are you? Y'all do know you can't believe that 3-Eye Atlas is hiding by.
The hits just keep on coming. We had a gigantic full moon over the weekend that was really, really powerful and intense. And then yesterday we had gigantic solar flares, a lot of geomagnetic activity happening in the atmosphere of the Earth, a lot of energy activity going on. So I want to get into what you might be feeling, and we'll talk good and bad. It's not always bad. Let's get into it. This is based on the Schumann resonance graph here, which measures the heartbeat of the Earth, what's happening in the atmosphere of the Earth, as well as tracking the solar and geomagnetic activity and intuitive channeling. So here's what I'm getting from this. I want to go into the good and the bad stuff. So what you might be feeling, you might be feeling a uptick in energy. Your energy is running a lot faster right now. I want you to think heat and inflammation stuff coming in. So that could be rashes, it could be heart palpitations, quick shortness of breath, or you feel like your heart's like pounding really fast. A lot of stuff still going on in the chest and the throat area, but a lot in the chest. And now it's sort of moving down into the solar plexus, where I'm noticing that people are having a lot of symptoms that are looking like nervous stomach, where they're running to the bathroom repeatedly. There's a lot going on here in the solar plexus. Emotionally and energetically, there's a lot of questioning going on am I really where I'm supposed to be? A lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of wondering if you are in the right place at the right time. Now, on the positive side of that, there's a lot of opportunities that are coming through. This is fresh energy. This is new energy, and it is hot, hot, hot. So if you can handle the heat and your nervous system isn't already fried, then you might feel really excited. You might feel this buzz happening right now. And so there might be new opportunities coming through, and also just some realizations. If you aren't feeling aligned with the path that you're on, you are now getting those downloads of, okay, maybe there's something else. And I would say an uptick of creativity that's heart-led. Physically, again, it's all happening within the inflammation. So if your nervous system is really fried, this can feel like a lot. You can feel really restless, an uptick in anxiety. You can feel just like you have to get it out of your body. And that's what you should do. So if that's how you're feeling, the best things that you can do to support are to move your body, do some shaking. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Make sure you're getting a lot of nutrients. I had mentioned magnesium, but also getting nutrients like glutathione that can help with your liver. Liver is heat, okay? So you want to be supporting the liver. A lot of fresh fruits and vegetables can also be really helpful. You can check out my portal, Frequency RX, where I have a lot of different activations that can either calm you or can help you activate your life force energy if you're feeling on the slower side of this. Because some people might be still stuck in that fatigue, in that moving through mud. So if you're stuck there, then you want to activate this life force energy. Other people are being thrown around by the energy. So comment below, let me know how you're feeling.
You're saying, are you asking if it's bad that you felt that? Is it bad I felt something? No, it's not bad, bro. Depending on how that energy made you feel, though.
This most dangerous game, as they refer to it, was a matter of human hunting. And when a mind control slave such as myself was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods, I was then hunted by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton, among others. But they were the main ones.
You're going to stand right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have...
There you go.
Got it? Okay.
Okay, and if you want it back, you can spread out a little bit.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working. They're still out there, and there's some of the...
So you know how that Lake Michigan story came out with the Epstein files? That really horrific Lake Michigan story? That wasn't by mistake. Yeah. And you know how the other files came out and they were PDFs, and then people figured it out that when they opened it up in like Adobe and they just hit select all and then they copied and then they pasted it into a Word document, and wow, they found a flaw, which was it pasted into Word and you could see the entire document unredacted, not redacted. Yeah, that wasn't a mistake either. None of these were mistakes. Okay? The truth is coming out. There are people making mistakes. And the truth is already out. I mean, it's already circulating. Okay? We've got heroes, folks. We've got heroes. We have heroes in the DOJ and we have heroes in the FBI. And you better believe it. The heroes are going to release the truth to the public. The administration cannot stop it. So let's thank our heroes inside the DOJ and the FBI. Keep up the good work. Keep those whoopsies coming. Bravo to those who make mistakes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Paving the way for the future. Yes, sir. Just asking because I felt low one day, and then next day I was moving with energy. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Gotta meditate, bro. Gotta meditate. When you line yourself with the most high energy, you will feel energy pull.
Here's what's at the bottom of the Epstein rabbit hole.
Congratulations, you've made it to the bottom of the Epstein rabbit hole. Pay close attention. Jeffrey Epstein was on the board of directors for an organization called the Lifeboat Foundation. He was also on the board of directors for an organization called Teachers in Space. Look them both up. They actually exist. They have websites. They don't even try to hide what they're doing. The Lifeboat Foundation builds giant underground cities, okay? They openly advertise it, and for a fee and with an application letter, they might accept you to join their little society where they apparently have whole cities underground. They also advertise being able to take their clients off-world in the event of a catastrophe. And it's really interesting because Teachers in Space also talks about taking payloads off-world, which is all really weird, right? It gets even more interesting. You see, Donald Barr was the one who inducted Jeffrey Epstein with zero experience into the Dalton Institute, where he was a teacher. Donald Barr wrote a really interesting book called Relations in Space about an aristocratic elite trafficking children into space. Are you following me here? What's even weirder is the district attorney that was supposed to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein and bring him to justice was literally William Barr, Donald Barr's son. Now, the Lifeboat Foundation is really interesting because in 1996, they pioneered wireless money transfers. They're the second organization in the world to ever do this. This is a decade or two before Bitcoin even was a concept, right? So you got an organization that is doing wireless money transfers that are untraceable, large sums of money, and they're building giant underground infrastructures. It gets even weirder. I found out through looking on archive.org that Lifeboat Foundation has a homeless youth outreach program. And they used to have a whole station in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and a whole board of people. They're all out of the Rhinelander, Wisconsin.
Wow. Hey, Shoes. We gotta look that shit up on TikTok, bro. We gotta do some good research with that shit. God dang.
You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. Oh, man. Oh, man. Morticians confirmed the photos of Epstein's body were actually him alive, not deceased. Yeah, do you remember whenever people said that, Epstein didn't kill himself? Now they're saying Epstein's not even dead. He could be watching the stream right now. Yep, think about that. Jeffrey Epstein could be watching this stream at this very moment. Hi, Jeff. Oh my God. Well, there it is, guys. Things are just going absolutely fucking insane. Jeff done fucked up. It was all.
Yeah, man, they switched him out, all right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's around there. Shit, I might have to be worried for a second. You know what I mean? Might have to be worried. Don't know if this dude don't like people talking about him, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but let's keep it moving.
This young girl exposes how the elite and social services work hand in hand to sacrifice children. Have a listen.
If they've got a baby but they can't look after it or anything like that, so if they get a baby, who
do they give the baby to? Do they sell the baby or just give them?
They don't just give them, they sell it because they can't really. They sometimes give, but they don't just give it like borrow, like for like a rent. They give it away because sometimes families are poor. So like in Tanja, there are people who had children and they were really poor. They couldn't afford food for them. So if the families doesn't have money and they get a baby, they sometimes sell it. They eat it, do sex
How
first.
do they eat the baby? Alive? Is the baby alive?
No, they inject it to make it go to sleep. And then after, Papa tells us to hold the knife, and then he puts his big hand on. He pushes it into the neck, cuts it, and after, but when it's upside down, so it's like he goes like that.
How do the babies become upside down?
So you get a string, hang it up, and it's upside down when it's asleep.
Hang the baby upside down after they inject it?
Yes. Miss Marden, the nurse, she injects it.
Who is Miss Marden?
Miss Marden is a nurse of our school. She does the injecting. She pretends to be kind to my mom and tries to say be kind. And then after she injects. She's a nurse, so she pretends to be kind to mom. And so if I hurt myself, she pretends to be really kind to us and look after us and give us ice cream.
She's a member of this cult?
Yes, she's the.
And what do they all have? You say they all have a special something that they wear and stuff.
Yes, they wear this, but they wear this special kind of shoes. They make
what shoes? What special kind of shoes?
Baby skin shoes. Daniel, Felix, and Max.
Who are Daniel, Felix, and Max?
They work at a shoe shop. Daniel and Felix, yes.
What shoe shops do they work at?
Daniel and Felix, they work in next to the O2 Centre one in this tube station.
Where?
Just inside the tube station.
In the tube station where? What tube station, Daniel?
O2 Centre one.
O2 Centre where?
No. So in the corner.
Which tube station?
I think it's the next Waitress. I didn't. Hampstead. Finchley Road Station.
What, the tube station?
Yes. So when you come in, there's this shop there,
a
shoe shop.
Just tell me what they do, these fellows.
And those fellows, they take off the skin. I don't know how.
The skin of whom?
Of the baby. The baby.
And they make shoes?
Yes.
And who wears these shoes?
Papa. Everyone wears the shoes.
Everyone in the cult?
Yes.
These people making motherfucking clothing and accessories out of us. What is this? What in the world? It's just like, remember when we seen them two teddy bears that was in the bus? What the fuck was that, man? Talking about it with some art. That person needs to go to a mental asylum. Fuck out of here.
We should all normalize booing people mid-conversation if we don't like where it's going.
Just in case y'all missed it.
We should all normalize booing people mid-conversation if we don't like where it's going.
Do that, and we're gonna publicly shame them now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're doing something wrong in that moment, do you shame them? Do what the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you? Who raised you? Whose man's is this?
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Are we right now on stolen land?
I have no idea the history of this land, of where we're sitting today. Nor do I, Senator.
So that speaks volumes that neither of you are willing to say, hell no, we're not on stolen land. And I will say at the Grammys, when you see an entertainer say, nobody is illegal while we're on stolen land, and then you see entertainers leap to their feet clapping so excitedly at the notion that America is fundamentally illegitimate, it starts to convey that the entertainment world is deeply corrupt. And I will point out that same singer who says no one is illegal on stolen land promptly went back to her $14 million mansion, and somehow that stolen land she wasn't concerned about, just the United States of America.
That part. So, just be careful what you say, yo. you the wrong complexion entirely. Any hope. You know what I mean? Even if you do got a big t-shirt on. Don't matter to us.
Let's continue to explore some of the very dark secrets lurking in the Epstein files. Specifically, I want to focus this video on the documents, the emails, the text messages in the Epstein files that were released that seem to suggest that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were either in direct or indirect communication with each other up until the time when Jeffrey Epstein died. I don't want to speculate. I just want to go through the text messages and emails with you, and you could form your own opinion about how long that relationship between Trump and Epstein lasted. A reminder, the documents that have been released by Trump's DOJ are not the full Epstein files. It's just been a partial release of the 3 million documents. Trump's DOJ is concealing at least 3 million more documents, which could equate to 25 to 50 million more pages of Epstein files. And I believe that what's not been produced is far more devastating than what has been produced. So why don't we take a look right here at some of the emails that Epstein was sending. Let's take a look at these messages between Jeffrey Epstein and Mark Epstein. This is dated March 19th to March 21st of 2018. And here's what's stated. Mark says the following to Jeffrey. How are you doing? A while back, you mentioned that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald up to now? Again, March 19, 2018. The response is all good. Bannon with me. Jeffrey Epstein writes on March 19th of 2018. And on March 21st, Mark Epstein writes, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And then they continue to talk about, you and your boy Donnie can remake the movie Get Hard together. You mean Donnie T? So that's March of 2018 right there. Why don't we fast forward? Then we'll rewind, but we'll fast forward to May 2019. These are text messages between Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon. We know earlier in the week, Donald Trump was posting photos of Steve Bannon saying, great guy who was treated very unfairly. But here's what Epstein and Bannon were up to May 2019. The following messages were sent. Epstein goes, the financial statement rules extended in Trump land will keep the whole family safe from jail. Very, very clever. It will have to wait for our face-to-face. Trump had a fundraiser next door to my house on 71 yesterday. Bannon asks, did you drop by? To which Epstein says, I told them to ask if he wanted to come in for a massage. Trump's I don't war typical head fake. You're wrong on this one. You are not getting out of paying your dollar. Forget it. I just went through my reasoning with someone in the know, and they said, oi. Why don't we take a look at what was being said, though, on December 26th of 2016 between Boris Nikolic and Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Boris Nikolic was once a top advisor to Bill Gates, and Nikolic was actually the person who Epstein designated as his successor, executor to his estate 2 days before Epstein died. Also, Nikolic and Epstein had lots of communications about Russia. And again, I'm not speculating. I'm going to read you. June 15th, 2015, Nikolic and Epstein said the following: "Thank you, Jeffries. This is redacted. Great meeting you. This is redacted. With my next email, I will introduce you to Ilya Pomenarov. He is a member of the Duma and perhaps one of the most prominent Russians in exiles. A few articles are about him below." But let's take a look at what was being said December 25th and December 26th of 2016. Boris Nikolic says the following to Epstein: "When are you back in New York City?" To which Jeffrey Epstein says, "4th in Palm with all the Trump boys. Fun." Then Nikolic says, "Have fun. Hope to see you on the 4th. I leave for San Francisco on the 5th. So Jeffrey Epstein, right around.
I haven't seen like anything where they're directly talking to Donald Trump. Just talking about him, right? But that's just me. I think they were reaching. I don't know. Let's keep moving.
So there are B-52 bombers that have been spotted in the Caribbean. I guess that's for drug warlords, drug traffickers, on little itty-bitty boats that can only hold 5 or 6 people. I told y'all, if you follow me, you know exactly what's in the Caribbean. You know exactly what's in Venezuela. You know exactly where it is. If you don't follow me, you should. Go into my profile and go to my playlist and look up the "What Do We Really Live On" playlist. And you will understand what's in the Caribbean and why they just sent B-52 bombers there. I also warned you all, if they ever explode a nuke down there, she is going to flinch. And when she flinch and she moves, the entire West Coast will be affected. I also told you, they're putting those National Guard in place where they know they need to be, just in case this happens. If they deem it necessary to drop a nuke on this, she's going to move. When she moves, she's going to separate the United States. All right? Point blank, period. From Texas all the way up through Utah.
Facts. But we've seen that future map. I've been showing y'all that for the last 2 years, 3 years, probably more than that. Either way, let's keep moving.
But what I'm saying is, why do you think they made the Cherokee march across the Mississippi to new Indian territory, which they labeled as Oklahoma? And all the Cherokee that marched across the Mississippi, they did go into Tulsa, Oklahoma. A lot of them died. So many of them transcended that by the time, there wasn't that many left by the time they got to actual Tulsa, Oklahoma, to be honest with you. But it was still a lot of us left. And when we got to Tulsa, Oklahoma, this is where you get your story of Black Wall Street couple generations later. You know, that greatness gonna stay with us. You get what I'm saying? That greatness gonna stay with us. You get what I'm saying? So it don't matter what they do. You feel me? They could kill us. They can't kill the greatness. That shit just stay with us. You feel me? They could help us deport, but they can't stop the greatness. That shit stay with us. You feel me? So you gotta understand that was all ritualistic shit why it was done. Now, when you understand that about the Mississippi, and then you can understand like why it's a lot of warrior energy in the Midwest. That was where the International Confederacy was at. So this is why any soul that comes into them states, they gonna take on that energy. So when the soul get there, they gonna be in that energy. This is why they be like that. But see, they don't understand that it's warrior energy, but it's being manipulated for them to war and kill each other. They don't know that.
I know that. Illinois means warrior. You know what I'm saying? That's what I am. You know what I'm saying? That's why we grow that facial hair. That's only what warriors could do. You know what I'm saying? So we know what it's about. Shit. We listen. especially when the elders tell us to stop talking. You know what I'm saying? We listen.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that they literally confiscated a human egg farm yesterday? With all of the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff being talked about, no one is talking about the fact that they literally rescued 100 women that were forced to donate eggs. This happened in, I want to say, Georgia. It was a program that was happening that they listed on Facebook Marketplace advertising surrogate services. So basically you become a surrogate and you get paid a pretty decent amount of money for it, right? Now, these women went to this facility that happened to be an egg farming facility, and they were completely blindsided. They began to, house these women in very unsafe environments and force them to do egg retrieval services for very, very cheap to no price, pay. And they just rescued 100 women from Thailand that were being forced to donate eggs. This is literally The Handmaid's Tale in real life.
That's a fact. That's some fuckery right there. But you know how many of them islands they got out there? Shit, I bet you Jeffrey did. I bet you.
All hell has broken loose in Washington, D.C. From the Trump and Zohran Mamdani meeting in the Oval Office to what Marjorie Taylor Greene did just hours after that, to then what Trump has done in regards to Tim Walz in Minnesota and all the Somalians that Barack Obama led into the country. It has been a whirlwind, like not even a full 24 hours of everything. Let's start with this, though, because I cannot tell if this is Trump trolling everybody or what exactly this means, but this is what President Trump posted on Truth Social, pictures of him and Zohran Mamdani at the end of their meeting yesterday in the Oval Office that a lot of people, myself included, y'all included, were a little confused about, given the tone of the meeting and the way President Trump sat at his desk while Zohran Mamdani stood over him. It gave a weird sense of power, like Zohran held the power and Trump did not. And I know a lot of people did not like the visual that gave. Then you have here with President Trump and Zohran Mamdani in the White House together taking pictures with Trump posting about it. There's no words with it, and it's absolutely crazy to me. But right after all of this happened, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who we have talked about numerous times, she used to be like the biggest Trump supporter, and then she slowly started, I don't know if going batshit is the right word here, but she slowly started like changing her tune and the way she talked and the things that she was saying. And it seemed like she was trying to go more of a in the middle kind of route so that Democrats would like her and Republicans would like her equally or dislike her equally, however you want to look at it. And she started trying to pick a fight with President Trump. And it works because, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, President Trump does not hold back from the things that he wants to say, and he has no problem posting them on Truth Social. And he posted some very choice words from Marjorie Taylor Greene after Marjorie Taylor Greene posted some very choice words for him. It was a little tit for tat back and forth between the two of them. Well, yesterday, after everything was said and done with Zohran Mamdani and President Trump in the Oval Office, Marjorie Taylor Greene took it upon herself to make a 10-minute video to let Georgia's 14th district and America know that she is saying goodbye to her role in politics. And I want you guys to hear a little bit of what she said. We're not going to play the whole thing because it is 10 minutes and change, but it will be posted on my X account if you guys want to go over there, or you can look it up, whatever you prefer to do. But I do want to play just a little bit of this for you so you can kind of get an idea of exactly what is going on here. And you can tell she's reading, obviously, but take a listen.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is...
This long-winded ass female, man. I don't know what the fuck that was, man. She didn't say shit.
It's coming. Their entire system is coming down before the whole world's eyes. And once we fully shift, everything without a soul, he will eradicate. Our memories are being restored daily. Our DNA is being repaired. Okay? We will avenge her and many more. Trust me on that. And they know. But I say to you, human beings and reptilian shapeshifters who have invaded our planet, y'all know my spirit. I war with y'all in the astral realms. For centuries, y'all, I've been warring with you. You wanna say you're man-made centuries. Since before time, I've been warring with you. We are here. We are back. And the gods and goddesses are awakened. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Emmett Till was sacrificed in Money, Mississippi, like I was telling y'all, on the 33rd parallel. It was a blood sacrifice. They ain't never admitted that. They always say he was killed over some racism. No, he was not. It was a blood sacrifice. Now, why would they sacrifice him? Because they were trying to channel energy off the Mississippi River, which is also runs along the 33rd parallel. So you got to understand, all this has to do with the Mississippians and the energy we place right there. You get what I'm saying? The energy we place right there. And they are aware of that. Even the Trail of Tears, what they do, they marched them all the way across the Mississippi River. They didn't have to make them go that far. You ever wonder, like, why they make the Cherokee walk so far? See what I'm saying? The ones that folded, because the ones that didn't fold became Seminoles. And they kept going and warring with their bitch ass. But you know, you always got the ones amongst us want to fold under pressure. So the ones that folded under pressure, they ass took that walk. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Not lying.
Well, you know me, man. I use my social platforms to inform people as well. And so I have posted pictures of me and my grandmother, auntie, and family, and have stated right now. It's up. Okay, yep. And have stated that, you know, we have this Cherokee blood and everything. And people know, you got a lot of people that know. You got a lot of people that know, and they'll say, you know, they Blackfoot, they Cherokee, they this, they that, and they know that their grandmothers told them this, their family told them this. But you also have those, the Indian people that they call the natives that are more European than anything. Mm-hmm. They'll come on a page and start hating, saying you don't know your heritage, you don't know your spirituality. Y'all always you mentioned that. Set it on fire. This one girl said, this one girl said, y'all African people always, y'all don't know where y'all come from. Y'all always saying y'all this, y'all always saying y'all that. Y'all think y'all Egyptian, y'all think y'all this. She said, y'all don't know what y'all are. Now y'all trying to say y'all Native American and this and that. I was like, man, this stuff crazy. Man, and look, they going back and forth and they getting into it with each other. Yep. I said, listen, I had to tell her, I said, listen here. I said, now you see the picture I posted, right? Mm. I say, look at my grandmother. I say, you can tell she's every bit of got Indian blood in her. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the girl kept saying, well, go take a DNA test. I said, baby, listen here. My DNA test is my grandmother. That's right. That's the DNA test. Right. That's the roots.
Mm-hmm. The mitochondria. Chingy been telling us, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's really telling when we're talking about the Epstein files that we remember that there's multiple interviews of Jeffrey Epstein talking about Jesus, except for he can't really say the name. Have you noticed that? He can't really say the name. He only ever refers to him as, like, a carpenter, or the carpenter, or like that. Which, by the way, is explicitly demonic, because demons can't really say the name. They have to call him the carpenter, and they do that, one, to try and mock him, to make it seem like, oh, he was just a carpenter type thing. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein literally did that in an interview where he was talking about philosophers, and the interviewer mentioned Jesus, and he went, I thought he was a carpenter. Not interested in talking about that. Yeah, probably because you worship Baal, dude. I can't believe that... I'm still trying to struggle to comprehend that we have, like, documented proof of child sacrifice of the elites. That's insane. I can't believe I made fun of conspiracy theorists. I think it's really telling when we're
At least you knew Shane, man, so at least you good. Redemption.
The solar superflare versus the comet. The current X8.1 solar maximum is a modern echo of the 12,000-year cycle, a period that nearly wiped the slate of human civilization clean. Evidence from ice cores and black mat sediment layers suggests a massive solar outburst occurred during a geomagnetic excursion. This event likely induced hemispheric scale lightning, storms, and ignited global forest fires. At over 50 sites across North America, a carbon-rich black mat layer appears exactly at 12,900 years ago. Below it lie the bones of mammoths and Clovis tools. Above it, they vanish entirely. Ancient trees reveal a massive radiocarbon spike around 14,300 years ago, indicating a solar storm orders of magnitude stronger than anything we have seen in modern history. What's next? The secret archaeology, the stairway to the modern world.
Some good information.
This was taken in Tel Aviv 6 hours ago. See the sign up here? And this guy looks awfully familiar walking around with armed security guards. Yeah, looks like the guy that's been in the news lately, right? Slap a beard, long hair, and some glasses on him so that nobody would recognize him. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you some proof. This was released by CBS News today. A blurry orange image that was shown in the 15-minute span that all security cameras went out the night he lost his life. Newly released FBI analysis of the footage, a flash of orange appears to be going to the L-tier stairs, could possibly be an inmate escorted to the tier, the same tier where he was held. Here's another analysis from an independent source. It's possible someone is carrying an inmate lying in or bedding up the stairs. I know this isn't a lot, but this is the first footage in 9 years we've seen during that 15-minute window when the cameras went down. So obviously they have footage. By the way, this is his YouTube from the file. He had a YouTube channel that people are talking about. He made Minecraft videos. But back to this photo. Do you think that that's him? Not to mention his girlfriend in 2023 saying this in the present tense.
Damn buffoonery. Some bitch the reason why we got microtransactions in games.
Drink lots of water, friends. Add a pinch of sea salt if you feel the need to. Following the massive X8.1 and X1.5 flares from the last 48 hours, strong R3 radio blackout is currently occurring. Then an OA 3-day forecast predicts a jump to KP 5G1 minor storm by late February 5th as the CME arrives. With the X for point of flare freshened atmosphere, you may feel a high-speed hum in your nervous system. The CME is currently 24 hours away from impact. Today's X for point of flare is a high-voltage event. Visualize your biofield as a gold mesh filter. It lets the information in but keeps the chaos out. Blood memory triggers G1 storm response. With the KP index projected to hit 5G1 minor storm by late February 5th, your blood is about to experience a magnetic wash. This iron in your blood is a magnetoreceptor. As the geomagnetic field fluctuates, it taps on the ancestral files stored in your DNA. You may feel a sudden, intense urge to organize, plant, or secure the perimeter. This is the ancestral settler, farmer memory activating a survival response to environmental shifts. These memories might feel less like thoughts and more like sudden physical knowings, e.g., knowing how to navigate by the stars or sensing water nearby. The calm is ending, field density is increasing. The magnetic field is beginning to compress as the leading edge of the solar wind reaches us.
Yeah, stay hydrated, man. Make sure you're sleeping with that water by your bed.
So everyone's curious as to why do I keep losing all of my accounts? And I keep losing all of my accounts because I keep showing you all what we really live on. It's not a spinning ball. It's not even flat earth. But if you follow me, especially those of you that follow me since the dragon, and you've seen the multiple dragons that I've shown you, I just showed everyone what Africa really is. I just lost my last account because I showed you all what Africa really is. And what is Africa? Let's talk about it. Now, some of you might have already seen this, but here we have Africa, the entire continent. And if you look here, this would be the back of a skull. All right. This is the jawbone down to the chin. Here's the lips. There's the nose. Going back around to the forehead. This is whatever this is what killed this. Okay? We cracked that skull right there. You can clearly see the eye socket that used to be right here. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. But then I thought about it. What's in our throat? And if somebody cut it, we'll leak out. Right. Your carotid artery. Would you?
Bigger picture, y'all. Biggest picture of them all.
No, you gotta go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing the sport with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there.
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about,
I'm not gonna lie, after we found out why Beyonce made a lot of the songs that she did and for what reasons, I am not shocked one bit to find out that Jay-Z is allegedly listed in the Epstein file.
50 Cent is still keeping his foot firmly on Jay-Z and Beyonce's necks, and now he's hinting that Beyonce herself might be tied into this whole Epstein situation. By now, you probably heard that Jay-Z's name popped up in those Epstein files. There's a woman claiming she woke up inside Epstein's mansion, and she says Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were both in the room. And as soon as that information started circulating, 50 jumped on social media talking about how he wants to put together a whole documentary on Jay-Z and Epstein. 50 said, damn, they got your man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this ish. But here's where Beyonce made a mistake, thinking she could control what 50 does. Allegedly, Beyonce got her lawyers to warn 50 to stop posting about Jay and Epstein, but as you can imagine, that just made things worse. So after 50 posted about possibly doing a documentary on Jay-Z's connection to Epstein, a source close to Beyonce said she was furious, because apparently the Carters had already paid off major media outlets to not talk about this. Even the Shade Room quietly deleted their posts about Jay being named in the Epstein files. And notice how TMZ, People, Us Weekly, Complex, Billboard, none of these outlets touched this story. So the Carters probably thought this was going to blow over, but they clearly forgot about 50 Cent, because if there's ever an opportunity to shade Jay-Z, 50 is not letting it pass him by. And you know 50 lives for a threat. That man gets energized when folks think they can scare him. So after word got out that Beyonce allegedly sent her lawyers to warn 50 about speaking on Jay-Z and Epstein, 50 jumped right back on social media and shared a cryptic post hinting that Beyonce might want to back off. 50 also shared this AI-generated clip of himself and wrote in the caption, "I smell beef and popcorn." So now with 50 Cent stirring the pot, you just never know what else might come back up. We already saw how 50 dug up all kinds of stuff on Diddy for that documentary, things a lot of people didn't even know existed. So if he could do that, he could definitely do the same thing with the Carters. Now the real question is, can Beyonce actually stop 50 from making a documentary about Jay-Z? Well, the internet doesn't think so. Fans online are saying Beyonce might want to sit this one out, or better yet, call a divorce lawyer. But here's the thing, a lot of people are now starting to believe Beyonce might be complicit in whatever Jay-Z was allegedly involved in, and because of that.
Yeah, man. She ain't a queen bee for nothing. She helped unalive Aaliyah because she was rocking the boat. You know what I'm saying? But shit. We know that.
The divorce is highly unlikely, because if we're being honest, Jay and Beyonce probably got dirt on each other, and it's safer for both of them to stay married. And let's not forget that Beyonce has had her own separate allegations floating around for years. Everything from claims that she sabotages other female artists to much darker rumors about black magic and so-called sacrifices. One of the most disturbing allegations came from former NFL player Larry Johnson, who claimed he once attended a weird party with Jay-Z and Beyonce that left him deeply disturbed. According to Johnson, this was back in the early 2000s at a late-night rap party the Carters were hosting in Colorado. He says there were people there who didn't look like adults at all, and that Beyonce allegedly made a comment that made him extremely uncomfortable.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. And we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I can respect that. So when 11...
All those rumors about Beyonce being involved in some dark practices like witchcraft and rituals. These claims aren't just coming from random folks on the internet. They're coming from people who worked with Beyonce for years. Back in 2018, Beyonce's former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, came forward accusing her of practicing what she described as extreme witchcraft, and it didn't stop at accusations. Kimberly even went as far as filing for a restraining order against Beyonce.
This has been going on since 2006, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And for a very long time, I put this person on a pedestal. I love them. I send emails, publicly, happy birthday and all this stuff. And the entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, just all kinds of...
But Kimberly isn't the only one who made these kinds of insinuations. More recently, Beyonce's former dance captain, Ashley Everett, was caught liking some real shady posts and comments. And one of those posts claimed that when people listen to Beyonce, they don't realize they're entertaining demons. But it gets even darker. Another former dancer, Khadijah Cherie, who worked with Beyonce on the Formation video and her 2016 Super Bowl performance, came out with some truly shocking claims on Instagram. She called Beyonce a witch and even accused her of allegedly calling for something to happen to her child. Khadijah wrote, "Are you effing serious? You called for my child to be R-word? You evil witch. Essence, check on my child. I'm about to blow this ish through the effing roof."
What the fuck? How can you wish that on somebody like that? For what the hell's wrong with you, girl? Man, must be
Ish through the effing roof. Now that post quickly disappeared from Khadijah's page, and honestly, most people would have never even known about it if it wasn't for Tasha K. Tasha came through with the receipts and shared screenshots of Khadijah's post on X, and then also broke it down on her YouTube channel.
Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witchcraft. Okay. This is an ex-dancer of hers, and now we remember the ex-drummer that came out, and we call her crazy too. We got the interview of the drummer. Y'all remember her? And she was saying that Beyonce was using witchcraft and all that stuff, and it always comes out around the time when she getting ready to cipher for a new album. I know Beyonce's a witch. I saw the Lemonade visuals. I saw it. I said, this is dark.
Now let me be clear, these are all just allegations. Nobody's saying this is a proven fact. However, when you keep hearing the same types of stories about the same person from different people, that's when people start wondering, when does coincidence stop being a coincidence and start looking like a pattern? Because one rumor you can brush off, two maybe, but when similar claims keep popping up from people who are actually on the inside, that's when the public starts paying attention and asking real questions. And then there's this whole other angle people don't like to talk about, the idea that Jay-Z and Beyonce might not actually be the ones running things. Because let's be real, no matter how rich or famous these entertainers are, there are people behind the scenes with even more money and more power calling the shots. Remember when Kanye claimed that Beyonce and Jay-Z are just controlled puppets, and he hinted how most of these celebs are being blackmailed by something they did in their past?
You know what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Not you, man.
But they can't control me. So out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
So between the Epstein allegations, the media silence, Beyonce's alleged legal threats against 50 Cent, and all these past allegations coming back, the Carter empire is starting to show some real cracks. And now the big question is whether they can actually recover from this, or if it's already too late. Because once the public starts forming opinions, it's hard to put that toothpaste back in the tube. But let me hear what you think. Do you believe 50 Cent is bluffing about doing a documentary on Jay-Z and Epstein? Or do you think he actually has enough to expose something major? And what about Beyonce? Do you think she's innocent in all this? Someone who was manipulated when she was too young to know better? Or is she a willing...
Nah, man. She's as trifling as they come. She part of the dang system. Matter of fact, she a madam and a ringleader at
that. To me, Apollo was real.
To you, but I'm saying...
No, wait a minute. In the United States, there were 400,000 people working on Apollo.
Right.
Well, let me...
Just a minute. Let me finish.
You had 40 minutes already. I've only had 10.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Forgive me.
That's one of the, must be real because of 400,000. And, of course, every year that number increases. Mm-hmm. There are 400,000 tellers at Bank of America. But do you really think what the teller knows and what the CEO knows about corruption in the bank are identical? I interviewed Eugene Krantz. He told me that someone in the command center at the console can tell no difference whatsoever between a simulation and an actual flight. Do we really think the CIA is so stupid to tell the guy making the glove or the door or the boot, hey, we're really not going to the moon. Be sure not to tell anybody. And that's why they had you astronauts at the command center to cover the mistakes about faking it. Once the rocket went up, there's only 3 eyewitnesses to the mission and no independent press coverage. So if you add people who delivered food and made paper clips and did the printing and the contractors and all their secretaries and food vendors, you could probably pad 400,000. But the atomic bomb involved 129,500 people, and only 8 people knew what they were building. So if someone in the command center cannot tell the difference between a real flight and a simulated flight, how can the public watching it from their living room or people years later? So that argument is flat. It doesn't go anywhere. And neither does the argument that the Russians would have spilled the beans, because I know somebody who works in the command center of the Chinese Space Agency. He said everybody there knows that the moon missions are fake and they're blackmailing NASA, because Congress passed a law forbidding space technology to be sold to China, and they're receiving it anyway by blackmail. If I had a picture of a world leader with a prostitute, I could upload it to the internet, and now it's worth nothing. Or I could blackmail them year after year after year. And that's what the Soviet Union is doing. Putin knows. He wasn't surprised to find out that the moon missions are fake, and neither is China. So that doesn't fly either. We're being blackmailed, which is another reason for the truth to come out. Now,
Blackmailed and be paying for it. The taxpayers is paying for it. It's like a $87 billion a year industry or some shit. Fucking around, they about to find out. They about to definitely. They about to find out.
So last week, Trump rolled
Facts. Facts.
Where were you born?
Me?
Yeah.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge General Hospital.
Baton Rouge.
There you go.
Louisiana. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. I had a long haul from where I came from to here, but here we are.
Right.
So proof of the pudding is in the eating, and here we sit at the dining table.
But it's hard to, when you say that to some people, because they say, oh, there you go with a pull yourself up by the bootstraps thing, and, you know, you're just being respectable. Not everybody can do that.
Well, everybody can. Everybody doesn't. Courage is the key to life itself. There are a lot of people who are born in situations where they say, well, I'll never get out of this. So they won't. I say to people who say, well, I would like to have done so and so and so. So, well, you could have done it. So, well, I couldn't get out of here. Man, the bus runs every day.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
If you can conceive it in your mind.
If you can think of it, you can do it. That's the human condition. If we can imagine it, we can do it.
Right. You think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't
Today?
or cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
Yeah. You know, I said, and it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle, it's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it, I want to just go, this is over, can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like it exists and we refuse to talk about it, but making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
Now that powerful mindset that your race cannot hold you back from succeeding in the greatest country on earth will get black people called a coon by both white liberals and other black people. White liberals insult you because they want you to know your place and stay in it. Black people insult you because they've shackled themselves to the Democrat plantation. They've accepted the indoctrination that this is not their country and they're second-class citizens within it, and adopted the limiting belief that their skin color is an insurmountable obstacle that they cannot overcome, and they hate that you believe in yourself. It's like what Morgan Freeman said about the singling out of Black History Month. Both white and black people stepped off those ships to the New World at the same time. Some of us came as slaves, some of us didn't, but our stories are still intertwined at the foundation of this country. This is why black culture is so destabilized today. They're lost. They have no identity because Democrats keep telling us this isn't our home, and black people have accepted this victim identity because it's comfortable, it's safe. It provides preferential treatment while simultaneously absolving you of responsibility. If you fail, it's indicative of a corrupt racist system that you never had a chance of succeeding in. But if you succeed, you get praised and celebrated for overcoming all of the systematic challenges. It doesn't mean the system doesn't exist. It means that you're a super special person who succeeded despite it existing. And the perfect examples are Whoopi Goldberg or Sonny Hostin on The View, hell, even Don Lemon. Absolute morons who get paid millions of dollars per year to spew nonsense on national television. They cling to their victimhood status so they can be hailed as superheroes for their accomplishments. They had to do so much more and overcome so much more than their white counterpart. But the truth is, success lies at the end of grueling persistence and years of mistakes and failures and lessons. And after every failure, you look inward to see where you can improve, and eventually you will succeed. And when you tell black people that their failures are the result of an institutionally rigged system and not their own shortcomings, you rob them of the process of self-improvement. Why go through the long process of sacrifice, discipline, hard work, and persistence if none of it matters because you have the wrong skin color? I mean, right now, Democrats are scapegoating black people as being too dumb to get an ID for why they shouldn't pass voter ID laws, even though 80% of black people want voter ID laws. Kamala Harris brought out Megan Thee Stallion to twerk at a political rally in Atlanta because she believes black people are simple-minded and will vote Democrat regardless, so let's give them a little bit of ass shaking to secure the vote. Jimmy Kimmel saying Nicki Minaj should be assaulted for being a Trump supporter because they believe there's only one acceptable way for a black person to think. And they get furious when black people forget their place and start thinking for themselves. That's how you get this video out of Minneapolis where a bunch of white leftists are calling a black ICE agent a house.
The buffoonery of these damn white Negroes. Tell you what. No, I'm just playing. I don't really care about that much. I mean, dude trying to make America great. Keep immigrants off the street that aren't supposed to be here because they didn't immigrate here. They basically just came over here through alienated means. Like they didn't come through the border. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come through the paperwork. They came over here because they're like, oh, well, they said we come over. Now that we said go back, you're like, no, we don't go back. Well, now we got to send you back. You know what I'm saying? Vacation's over. Democrats is out. Shit. It's our house now.
They've given me intelligence before, which has proven to be true. Right now, my source, high reliability. And when they give me claims that match up with other things that I know, the veracity of that claim goes up significantly. When I can then independently verify it through other sources, now we have high trust source giving me good information, right? That's kind of we break it down. That's a very rudimentary explanation, but it checks out. You can check with somebody in the intel world if you don't trust me. There was a lot of claims that went around about Donald Trump where they were looking at it going, this person has, this person has been denied before because they have multiple psychological breakdowns, or they've been convicted before of providing false information, or there's someone that just randomly calls in tips and it usually always ends up being garbage, right? So a lot of the things that came in were just clearly trying to implicate Trump before an election. And the other thing that this is where I go, where I think the left has really screwed themselves on this. Because the left has been so willing to lie. Hands up, don't shoot. Oh, Renee Good was just trying to drop her kids off at school. Oh, they're always willing to lie if it suits them politically, or misrepresent if it suits them politically, or lie by omission if it suits them politically. I don't trust them anymore when they make claims. And so even when they make a good claim, I'm skeptical because I don't trust the person, right? This is one of the problems that we get in the intel world. And I know this because we dealt with sources in places like Iraq. And if you had a source that had a low reliability rate, a low trustworthy rate, they might still give you good information, but you couldn't categorize it as high unless you could find other independent sources that you could trust, or other means of gathering intelligence on something that you could trust in order to verify the source. Okay. All that to say, a lot of random claims got put in there that I think were just meant to be character assassination rather than having high veracity. Bill Clinton. Like Trump, Clinton spent time with Epstein more than 2 decades ago, including flying occasionally on his private jet and seeing him at the White House. Clinton also denied any knowledge of Epstein's wrongdoing. Clinton's representatives say the former president broke off relations with Epstein after the first round of criminal charges in 2006. Stephen Tisch, New York Giants co-owner, is mentioned more than 400 times in the files released Friday. Correspondence between the shows shows Epstein offered to connect Tisch to numerous women over the years. In one email in 2013 with the subject line, Ukrainian girl, Epstein encouraged Tisch to contact a particular woman whose physical beauty he praised in crude terms. And then Tisch asked in reply, pro or civilian. So right there is kind of an acknowledgement by Tisch. Again, if the emails are all real, an acknowledgement by Tisch that he understands the difference between, is this a prostitute or is this just some random girl that he's procured? Casey Wasserman, the president of the committee for the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, exchanged flirty emails with Epstein confidant Ghislaine Maxwell. Friday's document released shows. In a 2003 exchange, Wasserman wrote to Maxwell, I think of you all the time, so what do I have to do to see you in a tight leather outfit? blah, blah, blah. Again, some of this is 2003. The question there is, before the criminal convictions, would it be possible for people to know these people and not be aware of criminal wrongdoing? Let's face it, some of the people that scream the loudest about this stuff in places like Hollywood exactly is Hollywood is not exactly known for its sexual purity, right? So some of these people look at these things as, these people are already willing to engage in what we might call immoral or deviant behavior that is not necessarily illegal or is illegal adjacent, right? Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister, and his wife turned up frequently in the documents released Friday showing they stayed in regular contact with Epstein for years, including well after his 2008 guilty plea for sex crimes in Florida. Among the correspondence are plans for a 2017 stay at Epstein's New York residence. Other missives discuss mundane logistics for other visits, meetings, and phone calls with Epstein. So apparently Epstein was also helping Ehud Barak try to, get work after he's becoming prime minister. And one of the things that Epstein is schooling him on is this whole idea of how he needs to think about his life post politics and how he uses his leverage and the people that he helped and everything else in order to make money. Larry Summers, Clinton's former Secretary of the Treasury and the one-time president of Harvard, is another of Epstein's well-known longtime acquaintances. The new documents are full of references to meetings and dinners between the two men. A previously released trove of documents shows Summers emailing Epstein in 2019 after the financier had been charged with sexual abuse of minors to discuss his interactions with a woman, writing, he'd told her, "Awfully coy you are." Epstein replied, "You reacted well." The other thing too that's come out with this, and it's not in this list right here because this list is mainly about certain powerful individuals connected to this. There were other lists where you had people talking about torture. You had people clearly making references to things that could be associated with S&M. So some pretty dark stuff, right? It's not just it's not just the deviancy. It's not just the stuff with underage minors, which is horrific in and of itself, but it's also the idea of incorporating a lot of other deviant and potentially illegal activities into this, potentially being done by minors, and people kind of freely exchanging emails about it. And I'm going to get to why that point is also problematic. Lutnick, who's the Commerce Secretary under Trump, we were talking about Lutnick and his comments. In fact, we were praising Lutnick for his comments at the WEF. Lutnick came out and said, limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of doing wrongdoing. So the idea is that Lutnick once gave an interview where he said that, when he met Epstein with his wife, they walked away and both of them basically said, "I'm never going to have any dealings with that evil man." But then there were follow-on emails between them. And so this is the problem a lot of these guys are coming into, is that they're saying, yes, I knew Epstein. Yes, I met Epstein. Yes, he invited me. Yes, he tried to get me in a circle. Instantly saw that it was evil and wanted nothing to do with him. But then there was follow-on correspondence. And so this is the part where it's like, okay, your trustworthiness now as a source on your own behalf goes down when you get caught in these lies.
Real bad.
Sergey Brin, the billionaire Google co-founder, made plans to meet with Epstein and Maxwell at his townhouse in New York years before he was publicly accused of sexually abusing underage girls. Emails show. In one exchange in 2003, Maxwell invited him to join her at a screening of the Renee Zellweger film Down with Love in New York. This is the part, too, where I think we need to understand something. Again, if you are seeing this guy Epstein in all of these different circles, but you are involved in those circles, but you're not involved with Epstein, it is possible that you would think, because here's the other thing, Epstein is actively reaching out to these people, trying to do them favors. So he's reaching out to them going, "Oh, I can connect you with so-and-so. Oh, can I just tell you as someone where I have people contacting me all the time, and I'm nowhere near at this level, but I have people in politics and I have people within the social media space contacting me all the time saying, "Oh, let me connect you with this person. Let me connect you with this person." Right. So it would be easy to find transactions of somebody offering to connect me with some. "Oh, that would be cool. That sounds good. Oh, I didn't realize you knew them." And if I don't know that person that well, I might give a polite response where it's like, "Okay, yeah." Or you might say, "Yeah, we'll go have dinner together," if you don't know. The question is what did you know and when, and how did it impact your behavior? Because I've seen people I know and like take pictures with people I know and don't like. But I don't know if they just happen to be at the same event together and they asked to take a picture or somebody snapped it or whatnot. That's not the same as evidence of a relationship or criminal wrongdoing. And so I'm capable of making that distinction. So again, when it talks about Sergey right here, the evidence that dropped in this doesn't look like it is reasonable to assume that Sergey could have not known anything about what Epstein was doing, had a meeting long before the criminal convictions took place, and then didn't do any follow-up. That's one of the things a lot of people are looking for here is when did you meet him, and what did the follow-up look like after he was convicted in 2008? Steve Bannon, one-time advisor to Trump, exchanged hundreds of friendly texts with Epstein, some sent months before the financier's 2019 arrest and jailhouse suicide. The two discussed politics, travel, and a documentary. Bannon was said to be planning that would help salvage Epstein's reputation. I don't know if that's true. One 2018 exchange, for example, focused on Trump's threats at the time to oust Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. In a 2019 message, Bannon asked Epstein if he could supply his plane to pick him up in Rome. So it's clearly that there was some interaction between Bannon and them, but it was largely on the political side, not necessarily visiting the island. There's a lot more in here that we can go to. Well, there's one more on this one. That's Miroslav Lajak, a national security advisor to the Slovakian prime minister. He resigned Saturday after his past communication with Epstein appeared in Friday's document release. Opposition parties and a nationalist partner in Fico's government coalition had called for him to step down. Again, part of the problem with some of this is why are you still hanging out with this guy when he's trafficked minors?
Because he was one of his constituents. The hell? Why they got all them people free? Why the fuck they got the guy locked up,
Free
right?
Rashad Jamal, they gave him 16 fucking years for waking the world up and exposing the elites. They wasn't fair. He taught a lot of spiritual things that most niggas never knew about this fucked up ass world. Like what else was he supposed to do? He united the black community, something most of y'all can't do. But people steady hating on him. What the fuck? Like I'm confused. His baby mama didn't wanna see him win, so she framed him. There was no proof, just a hearsay. They so shameful. Child molestation, they hit black leaders with the same thing to ruin our image, turn our people on us, then chain gang. How come y'all don't see this? This been happening for years. I'm tired of shit like this, that's why I'm never motherfucking scared. Free Rashad till it's backwards. He was preaching like a fucking pastor. I know he missed his family. This whole world is a fucking disaster. Talking about child molestation, bitch, what about Epstein? And that list they stole free.
With that being said, family, you know what time it is. Like, thank y'all for coming out, man. And this Friday evening with your boy. We're going to try and get another one while we can. Probably do one on Sunday. If I can, you know, manage. Salute y'all. Peace. Till next time.
Friends are some of the fakest people you ever have in your life. Because friends will never allow you to just be yourself. Oh, man, nigga, you sound like you're getting weak. Oh, man, you sound like you get... They ain't gonna let you say, man, I'm hurt right now, homie. I feel like hurt. They gonna go tell somebody, man, nigga talking about killing himself. So, friends don't check on nobody. Family. Family go check on your family. Because friends have to fake with one another. Friends have to be fake in order for us to be real friends. I can't tell you, nigga, you wrong when you wrong.
I felt that! My bad. That shit hit me. That shit hit me, man. That shit touched me on another level.
Homie, friends don't let each other be who they really want to be, my nigga. I got to be who you want me to be so we can remain friends. If I tell you I don't like this, I don't want to kick that nigga, I don't want to rob that nigga, and we from the same hood, but we friends. I can't go against my friend because my friend gonna quit me. So if I'm really your friend, I can tell you no. I can tell you I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Say, homie, I'm on the phone with my girl. Can you cut this down? And you don't say, oh, man, nigga caking on the phone. My friend understand this is my girl. So when he heard me talking to my girl, he cut the music down without shaming me. Friends wake up every day to shame one another. Why do you want me to believe when you call me, homie, and we Jones and high side? What friends do with each other. But man, my family ain't gonna do this. So I build a family away from a family, nigga.
Mars. Only a fool would include his own death as part of a plan. Young lady.
Mars so cold, I think I'm done with ice. Birds, if I leave her, she gon' die. Well, bitch, you done with life. Okay.
The real flex is how many lives you can positively impact. It's not about cars, clothes, or clout. Influence means nothing if you're not helping somebody to grow. The legacy you leave won't be measured by what you had, but by who you helped. Real power